Folks, we are back. The Collectr, the Investor podcast. Today's video is going to be sell that, buy this, hold that, whatever I said in the title. We're going to talk about the buy, sell, holds, talk about the news going on, talk about how much money PokePlumber has ripped in prismatic packs without pulling anything.
We could leave.
How much is it now? How many are you up to? How many think you've opened?
A prismatic? How many packs or
You think you're over 1,000?
Oh, close to it. Definitely close. Unfortunately, because like after I got so much heat from opening stuff, I opened like another case and I didn't like post anything about it. I didn't want anyone to see that.
Dude, think about that. You're getting heat for opening the freaking product.
I'm a scalper for opening the product. Isn't that wild?
Who are you scalping? Yourself?
I guess so. And they're like, I can't even rip one pack. I'm like, guys, you could have paid extra on Walmart. You know, like I paid extra for these.
I have a whiteboard that I'm keeping all the rules on. And like every time there's a new rule, I write it down. So now we have like, you know, you can't be an investor. You can't be a reseller, right? You can't run a business. Now you can't even open the packs. Like, what can you do? I'm trying to figure out what you can actually do with these cards.
That video went viral for me opening packs. Because I think with the algorithm, what I'm realizing is like the more heat you get, the more viral it gets.
Yeah.
And like my two most viral videos are all hate. So it's like the more hate, the more eyes.
Yeah, I say it all the time. It's like on YouTube, it's so messed up. You give like actual value in videos, like you break things down, explain how things work, give data. Those videos will do average and they'll have a very high like ratio. They'll be like 98, 99% likes. And then I'll throw out a video where it'll be like 80%, likes and 20% dislikes. And that video will get like 25, 30,000 views.
Isn't it wild?
That's just, and there'll be no value. Like I say this all the time. The most viewed videos on my channel, most viewed to this day, is Paldea Evolved reprints. And it's just me with like the red chart going down with Paldea Evolved. And it was when Paldea Evolved got that restock. Most viewed video on the channel, but then I'll do another video where we like really break down how everything works. Everyone's like,
you'll give like fantastic data, all that stuff, and then it's like
break it down into spreadsheets, give like back end how things work in the markets. There's like, tell me about the reprints again.
It's wild, man. It's fun. It's fun. I'm having fun with it. I mean, I'm talking shit now. Like I'm the people are like, what that? Hold on, I think I sent that to you, and shit, she was kind of malicious, but I hit her with, I'll cry myself to sleep on my pillow full of prismatic.
Isaac, thanks for being here, man. Thanks so much for the super sticker, my man. Appreciate you as always, dude. All right, dude. So let's dive into something. I
want to dive into Shrouded Fable. Hold on.
Let me hear it from your perspective, and then I'll correct you as you go.
Oh, here we go. You know how like my patience is always really thin? Today, I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep because my son wanted to stay up from 10:29 in the morning till 4 in the morning. There he is. On cue, baby. Perfect timing, right? So I ran a poll. Sorry, I had the graded guard up. It's crazy, the graded guard. I was able to get the melon, and everyone's like, the Abyss is in stock, and the Abyss wasn't in stock.
Oh, man.
Bro, but that's the thing. People are making money off graded guards that now they're just flying so fast that you can't even get a graded guard. It's insane. All right. So I posted something that said, does Shrouded Fable have potential? I said, for some reason, I went on a Shrouded Fable kick today. Does this make sense? Shrouded has potential, ? 81% people, over 200 people said yes. And then only 47 people said no. So now the market, right? So this is the crazy thing is the market is now on board with Shrouded Fable.
If only some YouTuber would have like talked about it and said it was a play like a month ago,
So now for me,
you know what I'm saying though? If only we had a YouTuber in the community that would like tell plays before they happen.
So now you look at Shrouded Fable, right? And this is what I was saying is Shrouded Fable's print run was already a complete mess, right? Nothing was on time. It was short printed in some places, and it was just wild. So here he goes, on kill. He's quiet all day, and now he wants to lose it. But Shrouded Fable, if you look at Dragon Majesty, right, and that was not a huge print run, but that set was horrible, absolute trash, right? And I even had a case of that, and I sold it at the first second it hit to 200s. But now Shrouded, if you look in that set, there's actually really nice illustration rares in there. Like
I've said that since day one, man.
Yeah, you have the Persian, the Zora, the Duskull, and the evolutionary line, and then you have the Houndoom. The Hound, I just pulled it. Look, I was opening Shrouded the other. Isn't that funny? I'm opening Shrouded. But the Houndoom is absolutely beautiful. That's my favorite card in the Houndoom. And right now, it's crazy.
You don't like you think that it's better than the Persian?
I'm a Houndoom fan, right? I think the Persian is awesome.
Who's a Houndoom fan? Is that a thing?
The Aquapolis Houndoom is one of the most beautiful cards ever.
I'm a Houndoom collector.
How can you not like Houndoom?
Oh, it just seems random. I don't know.
Houndoom's amazing. Oh, here it is. All right. So and then the Cresselia is even a lot of money right now. I didn't know this. I posted it, but look at that card and tell me how not beautiful. Like that thing is insane. And but as this is all happening, I have a Persian at PSA. I have a Houndoom. I have Duskull. So this is all like I was thinking these cards are beautiful, right? And they've been at PSA. So now I'm going to get these cards and they're quadruple the price than when I sent them to PSA. Like I just sent the Houndoom to have it in my PC. I sent the Persian to have it in my PC. And now the Persian's $400 in a PSA 10.
Yeah.
Tell me how that makes sense, Alex. Explain that to me. How's that?
Well, it actually doesn't make sense. I did a whole video on how these cards don't make sense, especially at the valuations. A lot of them are hitting like, some do, some don't. Like, you can't have cards that have like a very easy 10 rate. And I'm not saying the Persian's one of them, but like a lot of these cards out there have a very easy 10 rate, like 60 to 70%. And they're going for like huge, like way
Jesse
more.
What's that? Jesse and James is one of those.
Jesse James, you got the Gold Star Umbreon. You got a lot of these like very easy, I would say pretty easy cards to pull. They're pretty widely available till now, the buyouts. And then they're very easy to get 10s on. And you can't have those selling for more than cards that are very hard to get 10s on, like 30, 40% range. And that's what's happening right now. So I haven't looked into the Persian. I think Shrouded Fable is pretty decent print quality. But yeah, I mean, a card at that size or that price going for that kind of exponential growth or that's kind of margin for a 10, it just seems crazy to me.
I'm right there with you. I'm definitely right there with you. I mean,
and by the way, this has nothing to do with the price points. I think everyone's saying, well, Alex, the raws ran up. No, I get that. Like, I'm just saying it doesn't matter if the raw is 25 and the 10's 200 or the raw is $70 and the 10's 400, whatever it is. The margins just don't make sense right now.
Well, it shows, like, I think my job here is to help people, right? And when you see, like, say a card is nice and it always has that potential, right? Like, a different instance is that Mew. I always thought was beautiful, right? But then it's like when you see a Persian and we go, 300% in a week, guys, you got to protect yourself at the same time. Yeah, the card's beautiful, but the Gold Star Umbreon, I was buying those for $15, $20, right? And now my buddy Nick had them at $300 for a PSA 10, I think it was, or maybe it was a BGS 10, one of those two. But I'm like, stuff like that. I mean, it's been 4 years. But some of these things, you have to protect yourself as well, because this is when a lot of people get hurt. And I always tell you guys, I don't want to see anybody get hurt because then you're not going to want to be in this hobby, right? Just be careful.
Collector's Dream, 349 THB. Don't know what that is, but I appreciate it, man. Shout out from Psy168. Hope you both remember me. Damn it.
I think I talked to him on Instagram. So, yeah, I do.
Okay.
You don't talk to anyone on Instagram. It's hard, guys.
Here's the problem, right? Guys, if I don't respond to you, I've probably read your message or at least gave you a heart or something. But here's the problem. Like, especially when I put out those posts, like looking for packs, I'll get no less than 30 to 50 messages that day. And then I get emails and Discord messages. Like a lot of times when I wake up, my phone notifications, I'll have upwards of 80 to 100 messages after a day where I post something like that. So it's just getting hard. That's all, guys. So like, don't take it personal. If I miss one of your messages, maybe you message me again. I get that one. I'm not trying to ignore you. It's hard to get every single person.
Yeah, listen, like I used to interact all the time, but it's like this every day. Like you just that's just today, right? And then like normal messages, it just, guys, I can't get to everybody, and I'm sorry. And I love talking to you guys. That's my favorite part about this hobby, but it's hard sometimes. Like if you have something pressing, comment on a picture and say, hey, I PM'd you about so-and-so, and I'll do my best to get to you, because I love interacting with everyone. That's what makes me love this hobby. It just because I had so many people come up to me at the show and they're like, dude, I messaged you. Why didn't you answer? I wanted to touch on that because I feel bad. It's like, dude, I'm just a humble plumber, but like I love talking about the hobby to everybody. I really do my best. So I'm sorry if I let anybody down. I really try to answer. I really, really do.
Let's all right. Let's dive into that, like people getting hurt. Guys, a lot of you know I basically built my channel off being positive, off having a, positive outlook on the hobby, being bullish on modern product, right? So I always hesitate to talk like negatively, but like Nick said, it's hard not to, especially when you see the possibility that people are going to get hurt buying into things at certain price levels. And so obviously with sealed, you're going to be a little more, insulated than you are singles, but even the sealed stuff that's newer, right? Buying into Surging Sparks at 250, buying into Prismatic at 1 something ETB, like you can get hurt there too. But I had someone ask me yesterday or the day before, Alex, how could things go down? And like, there was a serious question. There was like, how would that happen? And it's a pretty, you can give your take, but it's a pretty easy, like, chain of events, right? Sales start to slow down. Okay. And people need to move product. And so as sales slow down and auctions start getting ran and auctions start ending lower than the other auctions did, and the sales start dropping, then the buy it nows will start dropping. People will start price competing because they're trying to move their items.
Exactly.
More will go to auction because they're trying to, obviously free up capital, which the auctions will start ending lower and lower because there's more and more supply coming. People will say, well, I missed that one. I'll wait for the next one. I'll wait for the next one. I'll wait for the next one. And so the price competition, the auctions start ending lower and lower and lower. And so that's the first thing, more supply, lower prices.
It's a race to the bottom. It's a race to the bottom every time.
Right.
And that's the thing is like right now I see surging, but I know for a fact now, right? Like I'm only going to say what I know. I know there's going to be a reprint of surging. I don't know how big it is, but I know there's a reprint of surging. So I'm kind of staying away from surging. I have a lot of people ask me if I'm buying surging. Like right now, as a collector, I'm focusing on, and it sounds crazy because how many lives ago did I say this? Battle styles. I've been stacking up on battle styles and everyone laughed at it. But now it's like PC ETB Shrouded Fable still there, guys, right? And you can get it for a good price. And it, the most wild thing for me is in order for me to get Prismatic, I had to buy a Shrouded Fable case with that Prismatic, right? So that's why I already had a position in Shrouded, a small one, but I always get the same amount for my comic plays. So I already had Shrouded. Now I added a huge amount of Shrouded and I got rid of a decent amount. But now I'm sitting here and it looks like the most genius play ever because now I'm in the Prismatic for way less than I thought I was going to be. But
right.
And those hold on. I have to say this. I'm shilling it. I don't care.
Shill. What a straight shill, man. On the Nostalgianomics live stream.
Look how beautiful the colors are for this box. Like Halloween's my favorite holiday.
I'm with you, man.
But like the colorway is actually pretty sick. Like it's I have it right on my display with my ETBs. Like this is a display piece to me. Like I love it. So go buy your PC ETBs. It's still at, retail. Go to Pokemon Center. Buy Shrouded. A case is only $200 something.
He's really shilling for himself, isn't he?
How?
But I mean, a couple of things, a couple of ways you see this is look for charts that have been like rising steadily. Just because something's 100% up in the past, 3-6 months doesn't necessarily mean it's a buyout. Doesn't mean it's manipulated. It means a lot of eyes and collectors are coming to that card. Doesn't mean it won't stagnate and have a pullback, but you're not going to usually have crashes when things move steadily up, even though they move steadily up a lot. Like it could go from $20 up to, $60, but as long as it moves steadily, it's more likely going to hold. When something goes from $20 like this and then jumps to 60 in like a day or two, that's when you want to stay away from those things. And yeah, maybe a lot of times they're not going to fall back down to 20, but they're probably going to fall to 30, 35, under 40. Like, so be careful of that. And also if things do, trend down, if things do slow down, right? A lot of people here right now are here to make money. It just is what it is. There's people from the sneaker community, crypto communities, reselling communities in general. They're here to make money. Like that's it. That's it. They don't care about their Pokemon cards. They don't care about the collectors, players, investors. They don't care. They're here to buy from here at this price, sell at this price. And so once that opportunity is no longer there, or it's a much smaller margin, they're going to go somewhere else where they can make bigger margins. That's going to cause a lot less price action. So that's the first thing. You have a a lot of investors right now who are buying in early because they know it's the play. And so if the prices drop and then the product's more widely available, the print runs get higher. A lot of the investors are going to go back to the old model of I'm going to wait, and they're going to wait 6 months, a year plus before they start buying. So you'll have that happen. A lot of the people who have never got hurt before, they've never lost a single dollar in Pokemon. Once they start experiencing losses, it's going to get their brain to switch and say, ooh, maybe I can't just buy anything and everything and make money. And it's going to cause them to slow down their buying habits and even start to sell off certain things, especially when they see prices dropping. They're going to, it's just the way human behavior works, guys. It happens in the stock market, crypto markets. The reason you see massive drops in stocks and cryptos and Pokemon, it's because it's human emotion, right? You see the price go down, you see it continue to go down, you freak out, you think it's going to go down more, you want to get out before it crashes. Nothing, and most things always, recover after some point, but it's just, it's how markets work. And so that's the biggest thing I would say is like, watch for all of those things. Ways I'll see it is obviously like views. If views start going down across the Pokemon hobby, it stops getting promoted as much. Maybe rip and ship streams slow down. That's another thing. But the best way to protect yourself is just take gains along the way. Don't be a hero. Don't try to hold out for the, get the absolute top dollar. Because those are the ways you're going to get caught. And as long as you're taking profits along the way, you're going to insulate yourself and protect yourself from downturns. And then you'll have cash on the sidelines to take advantage when the downturns come. So that's how I would approach this market right now is don't get too high on it. Don't think that everything's going to go up forever, and, take profits along the way.
No, that was perfect. I was listening to everything you said. That's exactly on point. You have to take some profits. And I know, like, even as a collector, for me, that's super hard to take some profits, right? And it kills me inside. And I'm not going to lie, like this past weekend, I sold a whole bunch of Sword and Shield to Rev, right? But like deep down inside, I'm like, oh man, like there goes 5 cases. Like,
well, also when you sell to Rev, you know exactly where it's going. It's going to die.
Yeah, exactly.
Like those are getting ripped. They're putting mystery packs. Those products are deleted.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. And I understand that. But you know what I'm seeing? A lot of things. And I'm not saying like my opinion's always right. But I look at people giving advice and they're like, buy this. And they're holding a Surging Sparks box. And I look at their video and like they've been in the hobby for 4 months and they're telling
but that's what gets views.
I know.
They figured it out.
But it's like, just be careful with who you're taking advice for it because they never saw the dips. They weren't in a bear market for 2 years where everything stayed stagnant, right? I mean, it was a great time to buy, but I always do your due diligence and your research and look at charts. Charts are important. Hey, if we're seeing a steady, incline, then it's like, hey, maybe hop on that because it's been going up for the past 5 months. That's a buy, right? Like personally for me, sun and moon stuff is still a buy. Like Cosmic Eclipse, I can't get away from Cosmic Eclipse, but that price point, it jumped up from $1,000 now. It was at $1,000 for a while. And now we saw a nice little incline. Like to me, Cosmic Eclipse is still a great set to buy.
Yeah. And the comment I get a lot when I talk to people about this is, well, Alex, it's always gone up though. So if I'm going to hold a long period of time, does it matter? And the answer is usually no, but here's the thing, right? I'm going to like challenge everybody right here. Like, and I'll ask you the question. We can, make it for the video. Housing market. There's people not buying right now. Why?
Oh, geez. Because it's high.
Right, but it's always went up.
Hey, but
stock market. There's people not buying. There's people not buying stocks right now. The crypto market. There's people not buying Bitcoin XRP right now. Why?
I'm buying.
I'm saying, why aren't they? It's always went up.
Because they don't have enough knowledge. Like a lot of these people.
It's not though. Like Pokemon. Why aren't people buying right now at some of these sets? It's always gone up. It's because everyone wants
you're saying the XRP is at an all-time high, so you don't. But I see the potential.
No. I'm not saying not to buy. What I'm saying is the tricks people's minds play on them, even when they know. Even if you've been in since I have, and you say, well, you saw Roaring Skies and Primal Clash. You saw Evolutions come back. You saw Shining Legends come back. You saw Unified Minds come back. You saw Chilling Reign Battle Styles, Fusion Strike come back. You've seen this. You know what happens. As long as you hold enough time, it goes up, Alex. Like, even if I buy in Surging Sparks at 250 and it gets reprinted or whatever, in 5 years it's going to be higher. Great. What about in between now to the 5 years? Can you really withdraw all your emotions from this and not want to sell, not want to take profits, not, say, oh, maybe this time's different. I don't know. I do kind of need the money here. Should I keep it locked up here? there's so much that happens right in your brain in between those 5 years that no one talks about. It's here. If you can be a robot, then yes, if you're asking my opinion, I truly believe you could buy any box in the market right now and it's going to be higher in 5 years. I truly believe that.
So
the problem is saying that and doing that are two completely different things.
All right. I'm going to be fully vulnerable right now. And this is a conversation Alex and I had, right? This is like 2 years ago we had this conversation. And it was a dark conversation. Should I tell people the conversation? I mean, we're past that point, so we can talk about it.
You can tell anything. I got no secrets.
All right. So the market was doing horrible. And we're on, what was it, like end of year 2. And I mean, there's times where we second guess ourselves, right? But this is what is great for Alex and I. We needed each other to talk ourselves out of that, right? Because there was a point where it was dark. We're not saying like a month, 2 months. Guys, it was almost 3 years. You need to battle the storm for 3 years. And we said we were saying not Alex was saying that there might never be a boom like 2020 again, right?
I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, I didn't see to the point it was going to go, right? Like it went even crazier. But you just have to hold on, man, because things get dark. If you were to buy XRP, at its all-time high, and then it dropped for how many years when the SEC case happened, you suffered. And that I didn't have a whole bunch of money in there, but there was a little bit, and it's like, holy shit, it's like just sitting there doing nothing. You need to weather that storm, and that's going to be the hardest battle you're going to have to go through. It's just like, holy shit, I put so much money into this, and it's not doing anything, and I'm losing because I paid $100 for these boxes, and some of them were 80, and you're like, I'm down 20% for 3 years. But you have to weather that storm. And inevitably, I mean, there was a rainbow at the end, like.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like during that time, no one talks about it, but it's like people start to get in their head, like maybe it's not going to do it again. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is over. Maybe that is a pipe dream. Maybe that was a black swan event. Maybe this whole collectible thing, maybe the secret is out. Maybe there are too many people investing in Pokemon that hold this stuff. And all this stuff goes through your head, even though, you were the one saying in the chat, well, I'm just going to hold 5 years. I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's fine if you really do that, but most people don't. And that's why investing is so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, like right now in the stock market, you're going to say, well, I'm investing for retirement. But guess what? In 2008, when everything was crashing, you know how many people sold during the crash of 08 because they thought the stock market was going to crash to zero?
Yep.
You know how many people like lost real estate because they couldn't afford it because they just, the real estate market crashed so much they just walked away from the mortgages because, they were so upside down, whatever. But if they would have held, they just kept paying the bill and not worried about how upside down they were. 2, 3, 4x, whatever it was, 5x. I mean, it's so hard to do that. No one talks about the emotional side of this thing. It's always like, oh yeah, just hold for 5 years, you're good. Yeah.
Well, the moral of the story too is like, don't put out more than you can handle, right? Like be okay with putting a certain amount of money out and saying, okay, if I lose X dollars, let's say if I lose 20 grand, I'm okay with losing 20 grand. Like you have to always have that in the back of your head. Guys, I know it's like right now you feel undefeated, right? You're the champ, you're 24-0 and you're like, nothing's going to stop me. Everything keeps going up. I bought this card at $100. It's 300 now. But I don't mean to sound so pessimistic, but guys, you have to be able to weather that storm and be okay with loss. And right now, there's so many new people in this hobby that don't know what loss is. They're like, oh, I'll buy this box and it's going to go up 50%. Just know that things aren't going to always be like this, and be okay. Get in the mindset and saying, hey, I can handle if I lose, 50% for 2 to 3 years. Could be even longer, depending if we go into a recession. You just never know.
All right, we got some shout outs. Sean, Daddynomics, and Dirty Jersey. Would you trade a Bubble Mew for a Sword and Shield booster box right now? Bubble Mew at I think it's like $475.
Dude, I love the Bubble. That's my favorite Scarlet Violet card. So
would you trade it for a Sword and Shield? Would you trade it for a Fusion Strike box right now?
Oh, that's a different story. Fusion Strike I see so much more potential in Fusion Strike. Gengar, I said this to you years ago. I said Gengar should be $1,000 card and a 10, right? Yeah,
I'm a sealed guy, so I'm always going to take a sealed. However,
Fusion Strike
I've always said this, and everyone they keep reaching out, and they think they have these. They always think they have these gotcha moments on me, right? Because I've got multiple people reach out. Alex, have you seen this single? These singles are crushing the sealed. You were wrong. It's just like I have said so many times. During times of spikes, singles are going to spike much more than sealed. But just wait. I promise you that in times of downturns, singles are going to downturn much harder than sealed product does. And the reason is, right? Every single day, there's less sealed product, okay? Every single day, there's more packs opened. There's more singles. Every single single. Guys, I pulled pretty much everything on the stream at this point. There's more of every single out there today than there was yesterday and the day before. Meaning, when demand falls and there's more supply than there was before, price has to correct. If demand falls on a sealed booster box and there's less supply than there was before, it actually could hold the price and keep rising. As long as the supply is falling faster than the rate of demand, it could keep rising. So I still hold true to the sealed. During these markets, you're gonna look like a genius in singles. During bear markets, you're gonna look like, disastrous in singles. But that's kind of my take on it. Collectr app gifting not 50, not 100, not 150, 200 memberships. Guys, if you do not have Collectr app, buy now. Just stop what you're doing. We'll pause. Get on your phone, download the app. You can literally track your entire collection, your entire investment. It keeps track of it day to day. You can see the chart of how your investments are doing. You can get rid of the low performing ones, keep the high performing ones. You can keep track of all the collection that you have and track master sets. Greatest app out there for tracking everything. Make sure to check out Collectr app, guys. This is a unofficial sponsor, but I always got to shout them out when they stop by and show love like this, man. I appreciate you guys so much. And wait, and they they weren't even a member themselves. They have given away so many memberships. They just became a member. How funny,
that's
dude.
Actually pretty funny.
But yeah, I just had to shout them out. Appreciate you guys, man.
That is pretty good.
Oh yeah, dude. It's I hate talking like this. That's why me and you have those conversations privately, because I hate being a downer. Like, I don't want to be the negative person, but I also don't want to be the person that sits on the sidelines and watches everybody get crushed and blown up,
Yeah, it's just, I mean, the thing is, and then we're talking about this, and then I'm about to go into a segment about the new set coming out and how low those numbers look so far. So it's like
give the quote. Give the quote you gave me yesterday. What was said to you?
That, like, the one distribution, like the amount of cases they're getting is so low for like 3-pack blisters. It's like what a store should get, and that's a whole distribution.
They said that was going to make Prismatic look like high print. Right?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, all right, you clipped this video and you added me for to collaborate with you. We talked about Pokemon and artificial scarcity. You have distribution companies saying the same thing, that Pokemon was going to do that, but they didn't anticipate the hype that there was going to be, right? So the reason that we're not going to get as much Journey Together now is because those printers are running full force for Prismatic as we speak, right? They are printing Prismatic nonstop right now. And I just have a bad feeling that Journey Together listen, the booster boxes are always printed more than the specialty sets, right? Upon initial release. It's always been like
total
that.
Packs, yeah.
Yeah. And now we're going to see Journey Together come out and the numbers be super low. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. And we're going to go through this again. Again, we're going through this.
I mean, do you think Pokemon is anticipating a slowdown and they don't want to like overprint, or what?
But it's like they do this every time. Like they did it with XY. They did it with Sword and Shield. They did it somewhat with Sun and Moon.
I mean, do you think they're trying to just like learn from their mistakes in the past, and that like they don't want a Battle Styles Chilling Reign Fusion Strike scenario again?
Exactly.
They're trying to anticipate a slowdown. I don't know. I truly don't know what they're doing, man.
Do you hear him? Is he on the? Oh, jeez.
But here's the other thing. Okay, I wanted to talk about this too. To all the card shops and all the live vendors, we're getting into vending season again. Collecticons are coming back. All the card shows. I want to clue you guys in on how bad this market is for everybody. Okay, it's not just the consumers. It's not just for the kids. All that. It's terrible for the card shops and vendors too. Because let me throw this out there. Okay. Let's take the Persian. We're talking about Shrouded Fable. Take the Persian, right? I'm gonna here. I'll pull it up on screen. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So here's how this works. You got this Persian, and it was literally a $30 card, a week ago or something, 2 weeks ago. Well, now it is a, $70, $80 card, right? It's an $80 card. Okay. What's 30 now? It's 80. You go to the vending booth, you go to the card shop, they say, what do you pay? They go, we pay 70%. Okay, here's my card. It's $80 card. They check TCG Player. Okay, $80 card, we'll give you 70%. Great, got 10 of them. All right, we'll take them. If it's like an employee or someone that's not, looking deeper into the market or looking at charts deeper, they're having to buy these cards, these insane valuations. If they don't sell those pretty much immediately, they have an opportunity to get absolutely crushed and actually start losing money on all of these single slabs they're buying. Anything they're taking in at their normal percentages, 70, 80%. When the market's stable, it's all fine, right? There's a nice margin for them. They can buy and sell. Everything works great. When you have these ridiculous spikes, and guys, this is happening in like 50, 100 singles across the market right now getting bought out. With these vendors buying in at these ridiculous prices, and people told me, I was on a call last night and people were talking about going to shows and yeah, they're buying it whatever the market price is. And if that's the new market price, they're giving you a percentage of that. They're going to get extremely crushed if we do have a downturn, which is going to hurt them. And so, you either pay what you normally pay, or you say, hey, look, the market's going through crazy things. I'm not taking these, or I can take them, but I got to give you a lower percentage. Then you're going to get customers mad at you. And so like, everyone's feeling the strain here. It's not just consumers, because card shops don't even know what to do. Vendors don't know what to do.
That literally happened to me the past weekend. Someone came up to me with a Celestial Storm box and a Roaring Skies box, and I offered them 85% of the highest sale, right? And Nick, my buddy next to me, he's like, "Why are you offering that high?" I said it right in front of the guy, and he's like, "That's ridiculous." And the Roaring Skies was nice, but the Celestial was kind of beat up, and the guy's like, "No, I can get more than that." And I'm like, dude, I was like, what do you want me to charge? And he's like, charge the highest sale. I'm like, bro, but you have sales here that are less than that, like multiple. I'm giving you a percentage off the top sale. And he walked away. He ended up selling the one box and couldn't sell the other. But like I offered cash for both of them and he wouldn't take it. But it's like, it's hard for me to buy, you know? And then when people come up to me and they're like, hey, can I buy that Cosmic box? I'll give you, they're trying to pay it like 90%. I'm like, I can't, because I'm not going to be able to buy it. So right. It's very conflicting right now. It's very tough to buy, and then you can't sell how you usually would sell. It's different times right now.
Yeah, and for me, like selling packs, it's like, I'll buy a bunch of packs and then I'll start getting low, and I'm looking at the market and I'm just like, everything's rising. I'm putting notices out and people aren't really reaching out to me to sell certain stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, I got to rise the prices a little bit because I can't really get more right now. No one's selling large amounts; they're all gone. And I want to have stuff in stock. And so like, that's where you get people mad at the stores. Like, that store was selling prismatic ETBs for $120. It's like, well, they don't have a lot of them. So do they just blow them out and sold out on day one? Do they raise the price so that like, not they don't get sold out right away and people can have a chance to get them off the shelves? They don't make it in the day of release. Here's the other thing, right? Again, I know it sucks, but I say look at Pokemon. Stop looking at pointing blame at everyone else in the community. Think about this. You're running a business, not even a Pokemon business. Take any retail business you want, right? If you're getting X amount of product and you're making this amount of margin, right? And, everything's running smoothly. And now the amount of product you get is down to here. You can't make this amount of margin. You have fixed costs. You have a building, you have employees, you have shipping costs, shipping materials. You've got everything else that goes into it. Even if you don't have a brick and mortar, you still have a bunch of fixed costs. And so the only way to make money then is to raise the margins a little bit so that you're making somewhere close to what you used to when you used to get all the product you wanted. And this is where like a lot of the pain is caused in the community, but it's just like, guys, point your blame at Pokemon. Stop trying to demonize every person that is trying to stay in business in the hobby. That's my take. And I don't even run a card shop. I don't even vend. I'm not a vendor, right? I'm a content creator. So I don't have a dog in this fight. I just see it happen with so many people I know, and I'm just like, it's not right.
Well, I was in like the back rooms at my comic place, and I was looking at like their inventory for their loose packs, and they were so low on Paldean Fates, right? And now they have to charge a price so they don't sell out of it because they only have like 40 packs left in a whole store, right? They're out of all their Paldean Fates. And he's like, I can't even buy them right now. He's like, I'm trying to buy them, but I can't. So I have to charge a higher price so I can at least not burn through my inventory. And the crazy thing is he raised the price and they're still selling at the raised price.
Yeah, I get it, man.
Yeah.
Do you want to touch on the fake test print card controversy at all?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the biggest scams in Pokemon history.
Well, here's the thing, guys. You guys know I always speak my mind when I have knowledge about something. I let you guys. I'm very honest when I don't. I don't really have any knowledge on this. I'll let Plumber speak to it. Other people know a lot more than me. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert in everything. I stay out a lot of those niche markets because they don't interest me. They're very whenever there's a very small supply of something, they're very easy to manipulate, and a lot of people who have their hands on them, they're obviously it's where the cabal. It's where the cabal came from. When I used to talk about the cabal back in the day, when there's a group of people in the hobby that all know each other, that all control a large amount of the supply of something, it's very easy for them to manipulate things. And that's why I stay out of those markets. I like to stay with modern because it's very plentiful. Everyone's like, oh, there's 11 billion cards printed. Yeah, I like that. It's harder to manipulate markets that have more of supply available, right? It's more organic. And you can say, well, Alex, what about the buyouts? I get the buyouts are happening right now, but it's still more organic than cards that have a very small population. They're owned by a select group of individuals. So I don't really pay attention to that market a lot. I didn't pay attention to the story when they came out much and what they were going for. I didn't pay attention to this story much. So we're going to leave it on Plumber to give his take and talk about it.
Okay. So this has always been a little sketchy, right? Because I'm going to leave some names out and I'm going to put some names in. So a while ago when these came out, someone had a giveaway for a Gengar and it looked so cool, right? Like the cards do look amazing. Like I wanted the Bulbasaur, the Ivysaur, and the Venusaur. I wanted them really bad. I thought they were fantastic. And Graded Never Faded, Brian was like, dude, they literally looked like they were printed yesterday, right? So we're looking at these cards. It doesn't have, there's not much info, but you had a creator of Pokemon sign off on these, right? So when you have to trust someone like that. They literally help create Pokemon, right? And he threw my phone. So now I'm going to fast forward to the show from a week ago. I'm standing there with Ryan and Rev, right? And someone comes up to me and they have the ones that are front and back, right? And I looked at Ryan. I said, have you ever seen anything like this? And he's like, no. And he's been collecting for a long time. And he said, I used to be into cool stuff like that. And then even Rev said he never saw anything like that. So I say to the kids, I was like, it looks like it was printed yesterday because they really do. They're like too perfect, right? When you're looking at these things in hand, it just looks like perfect, right? At least like with base set cards, you can tell it's aged, it's older.
Well, even like the card stock was different back when Wizards of the Coast did it.
Yeah, exactly. But so now you have two sources right there that I've never seen this in all these years, right? And then they're like, oh, we had to sign an NRD, when we bought these, all this stuff, and they're just making up prices, right? So in my head, I'm like, why'd they sign an NRD? Oh, it's so, they can't say where they got it from because there's something sketchy behind it, right? Like when you buy a first edition Charizard, they don't make you sign an NRD.
Wait, NRD? What's that?
Like you can't talk about it.
You mean like a NDA?
NDA, that's what NRD, NDA, right? So it just seems sketchy to begin with, right? So now you flash forward to all these people that are getting hurt. Like, look, PSA wouldn't grade it. Like CGC is CGC. I feel like CGC was making so much progress, and now they were the only one that backed these, right? Without doing enough research. Like CGC, I think, is going to get sued to smithereens, right? These auction houses are going to get sued to smithereens. Like it was.
Well, where does the money? I saw a video from Z&G Emporium. Like, where does his money come from? Like, is he getting refunded from somebody to give everybody back $140,000?
I think he's coming out of pocket before he figures all that out, right? Because his name's on the line. Like. Yeah. Look at Zach Gem Mint Pokemon. Like, dude, he put out millions of dollars into this stuff, right? So if he puts out millions of dollars, it's like all these people are getting hurt. And they just kept printing them. They were literally printing them yesterday. And it was like, hey, this is how we're going to make millions of dollars. So there was so many sketchy people in this hobby. And this is a bigger fraud than Logan Paul's first edition base set case, right? Like this is huge. This is really, really bad for the hobby. And it's like, you see, it sucks to see so many people get hurt because there's people that spent six figures on one card, right? Because there's like, I'm owning a piece of Pokemon history.
Well, this has happened. Did you ever watch the American Greed series?
No.
It was like a CNBC show, and it was like all these ways that like there's all different scams that have happened all throughout the world. And one thing it's very easy to scam whales, right? Because they have busy lives usually. They have too much money to know what to do with. They're always wanting the one of a kind, creme de la creme stuff. So I remember like certain American Greed things, like where a guy was like printing wine labels and like relabeling wines as like super old, vintage, like very expensive wines and sell. And he got away with it for a long time, selling to all these rich people that barely looked at it. They just wanted to own $100,000, $500,000 wines, whatever. And there's a million stories like that, printing fake, making fake Rolexes, making fake whatever. And it's just par for the course, right? Like whales just want anything that's, one of a kind, very scarce, very old, like anything that other people can't have. They don't care what it costs. They're willing to throw tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars at it because they can. And it's a very easy market, I feel like, to do something like this in.
Yeah, I mean, it's the greed, and especially he agrees. But it just shows you the amount of greed that's in this hobby as well. It's like how many people knew what was going on. And like, I'm telling you, this is fraud with real money. Like, this can go to the police, the FBI. Like, they're going to track this down and see who started this, who was a part of this. And you might have some really big names going to jail over this and being sued for millions. Like, this is millions and millions of dollars. This isn't like, $100,000, which is still a lot of money. This is millions. And this is going to get traced back to every piece of shit that was part of this. So you're going to have a lot of people in trouble. And like I said, CGC's reputation, I mean, the 9.5 thing was sketchy enough, right? They still made 9.5s. And you had all those people buying 9.5s before they even released the news, right? So that was another insider trading thing. So
and then the guys inside did know.
Yeah, because people were messaging Brian and he's like, "Oh, I have this in a CGC 10," and they're like, "No, I only want your 9.5s," right? And they were paying full comps when nobody was paying full comps for CGC, right? And they were buying out all the 9.5s. So that's a big issue in my eyes. And I was giving them credit. I was like, "Oh, the pristines are nice." But now you're backing something that you can't prove. Like, they should have done the due diligence, but no, instead they see money, right? And they're like, okay, we're going to grade that. It's not right. PSA did the right thing. Even though PSA pisses me off with their new grading, you have to give credit to PSA. But
I mean, if you're going to take the fight, if you're trying to take the fight to PSA, you're willing to like cut corners to try to get ahead because, you're looking for outlets that you can compete where they're not, and so it makes sense that it did happen to them because they're just, they're probably not doing the due diligence they need to. They're just taking any and every,
they want to be the primetime TCG grading company.
They don't care how they get there. And, it's like they've done some scummy things, but this is, I mean, here's the other thing. I don't know CGC's, like guarantees, but doesn't PSA like guarantee if it's not, they'll give you your money back for it?
Yeah, I can't really touch on this too much, but I'll give you an example. So say someone buys a fake card, right? And PSA graded a fake card. And let's say the fake card's thousands of dollars. And the person reaches out to PSA and says, "Hey, this card is fake," right? PSA removes it from their little scan on the back, right? And PSA says, "Hey, send me the card and we'll send you whatever a PSA 10 goes for." So even if the person paid less for it, they're paying them the full amount of a 10. Like, PSA handled that situation right. And I know this is a true story. And that's why I give PSA credit, because they will back their word. And if it's fake, they will take care of it and they will pay you in full. Whatever the last comp is, they will pay. I don't care if there was a comp that was $4,000 and then it went to $10,000, they'll give you all $10,000.
Yeah, guys. And this whole thing, like, oh, well, they've still graded fakes. They're just as bad. Guys, there's no such thing as an expert that never gets fooled. PokeRev has got fooled on a Neo box on his video.
Yep.
Rusty, TCA Gaming, has held a first edition base set box for years and realized he got fooled on it, right? Mm-hmm. The peak of the hobby, the most knowledgeable people who've been in the longest have still got faked out. So nobody's above it. If you think you're just smarter, you'd be able to tell. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't always be able to.
Yeah, I mean, I got faked out on Evolving Skies sleeve packs. I bought a whole bunch off of Facebook Marketplace when they were only like, $8 a piece. I bought a crap ton and they were re-glued and I opened it and everything was in order, but the packs were resealed. Like, there are good fakes out there. So PSA makes mistakes, but at least their integrity is whole, right? Like I back PSA 1,000%.
Pokey J, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate all your videos over the years, Alex. Great to see the podcast growing. Both sound lads. Keep it up.
Thank you.
That, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, but it's just I don't know what happens to CGC. They're gonna. I don't know. They're gonna lose millions of dollars. I don't know if they're gonna go bankrupt because they have their comic rating and all that other stuff.
They'll be fine.
But they're gonna get hit hard. And like I said, they were doing so well with their pristines that I feel like a situation like this has to drop them down a few notches.
It's unclear, man. You know, like we always talk about, you know, we live in the social media sphere. That's not the hobby. You know, the hobby is much bigger than that. Not everyone hears about every single thing that goes on.
Well, it goes to show you that no matter how big the name is in the hobby, they can still scam you, which is the scariest thing, right? Because I deal with some pretty big names, but like these are like the biggest of the names and you can still get hurt. But the thing is, some of them really didn't know that these were printed in 2024. That's the thing, is many of them didn't know that, but you want to find the people that did know and that kept printing these and kept doing that, because that's jail time. This is fraud with money. This is real fraud. Yeah, I'm not excited to see excited about this, but I'm excited to see the news that unfolds, right? I'm excited to see who was behind this, who's the piece of shit. Like, I really want to, I do, dude. I want to know who's the scumbag that's behind all of this.
What, let's switch gears. I think we beat that subject to death. Buying right now, man. I know you said you're still buying. Are you basically just taking anything that like gets someone reaches out to you, comes up to a booth at a show that you feel is a good deal? Are you actively like buying things like that you see like as value right now? Where are you at with your buying?
All right. I know I'm going to get judged for this. I bought another one.
How many do you have?
No, I've had like 5 and I've sold them every time.
Oh, so that's your only one.
That's my only one right now.
Okay, but so that's sort of like PC / investment. That's not really.
No, it's PC. I mean, the thing is, I know I always say sealed, but I really wanted that card back in my collection. My buddy,
you deserve to treat yourself.
Yeah, Brian graded Never Faded. It was after the show. He took a whole bunch of slabs that I graded, and he gave it to me at a very fair price. Not these crazy comps. Like, Brian always takes care of me. He's one of my best friends. He was in my wedding.
Who somehow never shows up on the podcast.
I'd love to have him on here. He's one of the most intelligent people you'll ever talk to.
By the way, we've got 2 very special guests for next week's podcast, and next week's actually going to be on Thursday night. Thursday night, everybody.
Next week is Thursday. I thought next week was Friday, and then the week after that is Thursday. Or no?
No, because we were going to switch it up with Poke Flips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're on weeks next week, so we're going to do Thursday.
Oh, okay. Perfect. All right, perfect. But yes, I did buy that because I wanted it in my PC. But yes, if people come to me with Sun and Moon boxes, I'm still buying Sun and Moon boxes. I'm still buying XY boxes. But right now, as far as the new stuff, guys, my last purchases are Battle Styles, a PC case of Battle Styles, and then a PC case of Shrouded Fable. Like, those are like the 2 things that I feel are fair. And I know you don't like these
things. So
you've
definitely taken down your spending quite a bit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, I'm buying things off Pokemon Center, like the Brilliant Stars. I bought that, like the Brilliant Stars Build and Battle Stadiums. I think that's a good buy. The Astral Radiance off Pokemon Center. Like, I'm buying stuff like that.
Do you think there's other people that are also slowing down their spending that are usually spending on your level or more?
Hold on. Say that again?
Do you think there's other people that usually spend like somewhere similar to your level or more that are also winding down their spending quite a bit?
Oh, a lot of people.
Do you think that's going to lead to problems with the price appreciation?
I think things will start to stagnate because a lot of us are looking at things and saying that's just too expensive now, right? Like some of these things, I thought these prices were going to be in 3 to 4 years, not today. You know,
we always say that. Like, everything I've ever bought in Pokemon, I'm always looking at longer term, and it always gets there faster every time. Like, I think Dan jokes about it. Like, any prediction you make, you might as well add, a 0 to it, or add like, another 100% to it, because anything you say you think it's going to be like on January 1st, when you make your predictions by the end of the year, it's always way higher than what you expected.
All right. I still I agree with that, but I still like Charizard UPCs. It has like the best Sword and Shield packs in it. It has great promos in it that if they hit 10s, you're doing well on them. So
yeah, let me hold on before you keep going. I do want to, guys. I did the math on this yesterday. Let me make sure it's right. So Evolving Skies booster boxes are still about $13.50, I think. If you divide it by 36 packs, that's $37.50 a pack. Loose packs are still around the 20 range. You're talking about almost like you're like a 90% disparity between loose packs and booster box packs. So are loose packs going to catch up? Are boxes going to retrace a little bit? I think the boxes are sound. I think loose packs with Evolving Skies and products with Evolving Skies packs in them, I think they're probably going to go on a run here soon, because that's crazy. Like normally you're expecting like a little bit less per loose pack than a booster box. Booster boxes always have a premium, but not that much of a premium. That seems a little crazy to me. So I don't know what we're going to see there. Sean, thanks for the other super chat, dude. So sell my Gengar VMAX Alt-Art CGC9 or get it cross-graded into a PSA case, man. Or heck, man, look, I'm a PSA guy, right? No sponsorship, no reason to pump them. I just believe in in that company as being a part of the market, a more established part of the market. But hey, go with Tag. Try out Tag. You know, there's other grading companies. It doesn't have to be PSA or CGC. There's Tag, there's Beckett, there's Ace. You know, there's other grading companies. So that's what I would say, man. You can cross grade it. You don't gotta sell it. Appreciate you, Bryce. We are almost at 25K, man. It's been a ride, hasn't it? It's been an absolute ride. Alex didn't want to collab with It Was Never Just a Phase? Who said that? I've never talked to the guy. Dude, I've never even talked with It Was Never Just a Phase. Like, I got... That's a beef you're trying to start out of thin air, my man. I know who It Was Never Just a Phase is. Seems like a good guy. I mean, I didn't say I wouldn't collab with him. That's weird.
Like a good guy. Here you go, bud. Hold on one second, Alex.
How do you profit in a bear market? Oh, very easy, man. Very easy in a bear market. In a bear market, that's where people are panicking, right? That's where people are selling. And you're able to get it even lower margins than you are now. Like or higher margins than you are now. Like you're able to buy in bear markets at like 60% for some people, 65%. And then you can, hold, or you can just, sell it off and sell some, get your cost basis even lower than that. Bear markets are where the real wealth is made, because you're able to take advantage of everybody that was undercapitalized, can't afford to hold it anymore, bid off more than they can chew. The credit card bills are due. They can't profit. They had the bots buy too much. They pre-order too much. Those are the times where you really make money, because you're taking advantage of the people that they shouldn't have been playing with the big boys before they were ready, type thing.
Back to Charizard UPCs. Sorry, this is why we're switching my days, so I don't have him on like the days that we're filming, or my wife's home. So Charizard UPCs that has an awesome mat in it. The cards, the sleeves in it are horrible. I don't like those. But like I said, the pack selection is just so good in the Charizard UPCs, and I think that just still has more room to grow, especially with those promos.
What do you think about the Evolving Skies packs being so low still?
I mean, they're still buy the loose packs. I think look at how much team up packs are. I always compare Evolving to team up, right? Because it's, even though team up was shorter printed than Evolving was, you had more demand for Evolving than you did team up, so it equals out in my opinion. But Evolving Skies packs are still relatively cheap, and I would just keep stacking up on them. Like, I'm not selling any Evolving Skies. Like, I brought it to shows and I put it at prices like I don't want to sell price, and I'm happy I didn't sell the Evolving Skies.
Right.
I think Evolving Skies.
Prismatic Evolutions having such good pull rates. You know what I'm saying?
New Jersey got screwed.
I mean, dude, like, what happens is I end up running out of penny sleeves and top loaders because I'm just sleeving too many cards on my prismatic openings.
You're such an idiot.
I am.
I pulled a gold Tarapa Ghost out of a whole ETB case, and then I pulled an Ogre Pawn out of the other ETB case that I didn't even know I pulled because I threw the packs across the room and I had an Ogre Pawn in it. I did pull the Sylveon though. I'm happy. I did pull this. That's at PSA right now. I pulled a shit ton of Master Balls, a bunch of Pokeballs, a bunch of trainers. If I see one more Larry trainer, I'm gonna lose my mind. Pull rates are horrible. Alex is lucky.
Yeah, I mean, here's my take on it. I gave this take on a short and I got blew up for it.
You want to see what I pulled in my last 3 ETB cases? I pulled this.
Yeah.
I pulled this. And I pulled this.
And you pulled the other one, right? The other SIR? Or no?
What?
I think you said you got 2 SIRs. No?
I pulled a Sylveon.
And a
But
Sylveon.
that was a different product.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm done opening.
I mean,
Like, at least with Evolving
my take on it.
At least with Evolving
My
Skies,
take is it feels worse.
It does feel worse. But at least with Evolving Skies, I was pulling, the Vs, V Maxes. Like, I was pulling stuff with this. I mean, Ryan said I was wrong on this, so he's actually on the same page with you. I was like, the pull rates are worse than Evolving Skies, and he's like, no, Evolving Skies.
No, dude, Evolving Skies was 8 hits a box.
Yeah, but I was opening it by the case, So
okay, but here's the problem, right? Is
it's way more packs.
No, it's not more packs. It's that
in a case. Yes, it is.
You have to count not Pokeballs, not on Pokeballs, but you got to count Master Balls and you got to count EXs as hits.
Dude, I have
when you take EXs, Master Balls, and full arts, you're getting about a hit every like 3 to 4 packs.
You're right.
So but here's the problem: there's no middle ground. So you're either getting a low scale hit or an SIR gold. There's nothing in the middle, right? Like illustrations. Whereas like all these other sets, like Shrouded Fable, it has terrible hit rates too, just like this. But you can pull a Houndoom, you can pull a Persian, which is a middle grade hit. It's only 1 out of every 13 packs. With like all these sets, there's illustrations. So I think that's why these just feel so much worse. Even though the hit rates, the actual like pulling an EX are better or the same, it feels so much worse because you're just banking on that SIR.
Yeah.
And then the other problem is there's 30 SIRs and there's only 10 evolutions. And so you only get 1 out of every 3 SIR pulls. That's an evolution, which makes it even worse. So like, yeah, man, it's honestly, it's right up there with pulling a Moonbryon. It's right up there with pulling a Gengar.
It's tough, man. It's really tough.
But here's the thing, right? Like, you tell me what side you're on. Like, I'm a gambler, right? I've always loved to gamble in my life. I mean, I grew up playing poker with my grandparents when I was a kid. And so, like, for me, this is where I probably differ from a lot of the community. I would much rather open a $12, $13 plus pack with a chance to get a God pack that is worth almost $5,000 in the market right now than I would open a $5 pack with a chance to pull a $50 card like Scarlet Violet base set.
Yeah, but the difference between me and you, Alex, is you're getting paid to open your packs. I'm opening them up for myself.
I get it. I'm just saying, would you rather open 2 or 3 Scarlet Violet base packs or a prismatic?
Prismatic.
Right. I think a lot of people feel that way. I think that's why it's in such high demand and why they're selling is because the chance of hitting that $1,500 card, that $4,000 or $5,000 God pack is better than trying to hit a $50 Gardevoir or Miriam.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of one of the reasons it's holding its value where it is.
It's because he stayed up till 4 a.m, so now he's losing it. Watch, he's gonna fall asleep.
There you go. Dad of the year right there, man. Dad of the year. I mean, as far as me, guys, my buying, like to go off the question we were on.
Take it away for like 2 minutes. I'm gonna put him to sleep real quick.
All right. Yeah, my buying has slowed quite a bit lately. So with Prismatic, I talked about it. I only got 2 cases between my distributor and Eli. I'm in Eli Pokemon USA's distribution program. I got 2 cases. That's it. So everyone thinks I got the stack massive, supply from distributors. I didn't get it. I'm not that level. So I took those 2 cases. I put them on my shelf. They're my investment. Every single pack I'm selling on stream, I paid market price for them. And so I don't have a large position in Prismatic. I'm one of the people that is kind of crossing my fingers too for a big reprint so that I can actually get a position in them because, 151 wasn't like this. 151 was cheap out of the gate. And, you had ample time to buy as many UPCs, ETBs, bundles as you wanted. And if you, again, if you weren't in the hobby back then, it sucks because you can't get in cheap now. But if you were in the hobby back then, you have no one to blame. Nobody to blame. They were everywhere. I don't want to hear 151. You should have got in when you had the chance. I made multiple videos about it. I was I was leaving links. You had all the time in the world. Prismatic, you had no time, right? Surging Sparks, you had no time. So it's different right now. I get it. That's kind of how I'm handling things. If I can get a pre-order or like a distro order and I can get them cheap, I'm holding those. Everything else, I'm just not buying. And I've talked about this before. I'm more okay with missing out than losing money, right? And so if I just miss out and Surging Sparks never drops again and it goes to 300, 400, 500 a box, I missed out. I don't have as large positions as I wanted to have, right? Or Prismatic, it goes to 200, 300 in ETB, gets reprinted down to 150, runs up again. Maybe I'd never get a large position, and I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is, you know, the market slows down, then massive reprints come, everything sits stagnant for 3 years again. You make $0. Your opportunity cost is just like eating away what you could be making elsewhere in any interest-bearing account or other investments or working capital. And so I'm more okay with missing out than tying up money or losing money. So you just have to ask yourself what's more important to you, right? Do you want to roll the dice and gamble and get in, and then maybe things shift, maybe reprints come, maybe you're down for 2 to 3 years and you don't care about holding on to things that you're down on? That's fine, right? You can go that route. Maybe you get it right, it goes to the moon and you made money. But it's like the biggest thing this is like the biggest thing in this whole video. Don't convince yourself you're a genius if you get something right. This goes with any investing. If you buy a crypto, you buy a stock, you buy a Pokemon product. Don't convince yourself you are somehow this genius because something you bought went up and you got it right. Because tomorrow, something can go down and you got it wrong, and you're going to feel like crap, right? And you're going to question everything again. And so all we're trying to do is get more right than you get wrong. Take higher percentage plays with positively geared risk to reward ratios, whatever risk to reward ratio that makes sense for you. And that's how you're going to sustain over long periods of time. Bull markets, bear markets, flat markets. But taking above average risk too many times eventually will bite you. No one's got bit yet, but be careful with it. Just be careful. Yes, confirmation bias. That is exactly what it is. And it's hard not to fall into that, right? You start getting play after play after play right. And, you know, you want to get your I told you so's out there and all that. But, you know, things can go the other way. And then everyone's, you know, pointing the blame back at you and giving the I told you so back at you. I told you it was going to crash. I told you it was going to go down. I told you they were going to reprint it. So just never get too high, never get too low. Stay at a baseline, right? You want to, you know, kind of like one of those machines in the hospital where it's like, you know, you're all these waves. You want to be closer to the baseline. You want to stay right here. You never want to get too high, never want to get too low, never want to go all in, never want to sell everything, never want to buy everything all at once. And you'll be a lot more successful long term. Even though right now everyone can show these massive gains on buyouts they're doing or crazy plays they made, you know, felt the hat Pikachu. It's great, but just don't get too high on it, right? Because you could just as easily, you know, send 100 cards to PSA and then the market, you know, takes a dump and now those cards drop 50%. Now when you get your cards back, the PSA 10 is barely worth what you sent it in raw, and now you're scrambling just to break even, you're losing money, and that can happen. And it happened to a lot of people in 2021 when they were sending things in at the height of the boom that they paid top dollar for raw, and then everything crashed. They got their cards back 10, 12 months later. They lost tons of money. And that's why things like Graded Gem went out of business, the grading, you know, middleman grading company, because, you know, they were getting the cards back. People just weren't even taking them back. They didn't want them because they weren't worth anything anymore. There's a lot of messes out there that happen when those happen. So just try to remain calm. Hey guys, if you guys have any questions you want me and Pokey Plumber to take, start your comment with question and leave it in the chat right now. If you left one earlier, we didn't see it, leave it again, and we'll start taking them when he gets back. Yeah, man, buy the top hits from set and move on. That has been, I've talked about it. That's been a very, very big thing in this market. The top hits of sets are actually performing kind of as good or better than a lot of the sealed products right now. We'll see how that ends up going when everything kind of slows down and flattens out. But yeah, for right now, the place to be is the singles. Why does nobody show their positions? I think a lot of people do. I mean, how do you show them, right? I mean, I've done videos in front of a lot of my sealed cases. I've done a slab collection video on my channel where I showed all the slabs that I owned. I mean, you want me to show like spreadsheets? Like, but the thing with spreadsheets are, those can just be like made up. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to make it up, but it's like, even if I show that, is it really proof of my positions? I mean, it's kind of hard because like going through it, especially when you get like deeper in the hobby and you start amassing a lot, like going through every single box of like any single or slab you have, every sealed product, every different thing. It would just be a mess trying to go through all that and then like trying to add it all up and show everyone like I had to have an editor, right? Like kind of like all the big channels do with their rip and ships, or not rip and ships. They're like pack opening channels. Every single thing I open, you just have like a little thing on screen, pops up with the dollar amount of every single thing, adds it up for me on top of the screen. I would have to have an editor for that because I don't know how to do all that good stuff. I'm technology illiterate, guys. Pokey Plumber, we need you. We need you, bro. I have 10 Blooming Waters. My friend wants to trade a prismatic ETB case. Would you do it? Huh. No. Maybe. I don't know. No, I wouldn't. I'm holding 151. I like my chances with 151 better than prismatic right now. If prismatic was just as old as 151 and it had ran up to this price point then it'd be a different story. The fact that it's brand new and there's probably possibility of a lot of reprints coming, there's still a lot of other products coming, which is going to affect the price. I like 151. So Eric, that's my take, man. What's PSA new grading? So they upped their quality standards again. They took down the 60-40%, meaning you could be off center 60 to 40% on the front, down to 55-45, meaning it's got to be a lot more centered on front now than before to actually get that 10, which I like that. I think PSA 10s should be harder to get. I think they should be more of a, premium, like they should be more of a premium grade than I think they were in the past. And so, depending on what you think of that, a fan or not a fan, I'm sure a lot of the businesses aren't fans of it because they were able to just get a bunch of, cheaper or easier PSA 10s and dump them on the market really fast and make a bunch of money. But I like the idea that the quality is going to be higher on a 10 than it was before. Probably still not as high as like a pristine, or a black label, but it'll be higher. It'll be higher. I think I'm pretty sure they left the back the same. So I think you can still be 70 to 30% off on the centering on the back. But it's definitely going to change things. I would expect if you have PSA orders in there, you're probably going to see less 10s if I had to guess. Ooh, Paradox or Temporal? Most likely both won't get a reprint. Well, see, there was an actual statement, again, not going to say who it was from, but it was from a distributor that they gave to a store that they actually said that Pokemon said they have no plans to reprint Prismatic. Now, that doesn't mean they said they're not going to, but they have no plans to. And judging by how they can't keep up with the new sets, and there's a lot of other reprints they need to do, I would say Paradox probably won't get a reprint. Temporal, it's newer, it still could. But I mean, the older it gets, less likely. Let me say this. I like the top hits in Temporal better. Like, I like the Raging Bolt, the Gouging Fire, Walking Wake, the Iron Crown. Like, I like those a lot better than the top hits in Paradox. But Paradox is a lot deeper. It's got a lot more good hits, especially when you take illustrations and SIRs in that set than Temporal does. I don't think there's a bad choice. Like, obviously, one will be right and one will be wrong. Kind of like Chilling Infusion. But I don't think there's a bad choice. I'll take Temporal if it doesn't get a right now. Right now, I'd probably go Paradox because it seems a little safer. If they both don't get reprints, I think Temporal may do better because it seems there was a lot less printed of Temporal than Paradox was. Paradox Rift was like in heavy supply. Distributors were blowing it out in the mid-80s just to get stores to take it. So there was a lot of paradox compared to temporal. So if they both don't get a reprint, temporal will probably do better. Yeah, I love those. Love the Brilliant Stars Trainer galleries. Even though they got the yellow borders, people aren't a fan of yellow borders. They are extremely hard to grade, and so that's why the graded value of those are pretty high. I did used to have all those as 10s. I did sell those when the prices spiked. Real life video game. I wish Plumber would get back because he'll probably have a better base take than I do. I am no fan of CGC. If you're asking me, I would never hold a CGC plastic. I would put it in a different plastic. I don't want anything to do with that company. But about the CGC Perfect Special Delivery Charizard, no black labels, hard to grade cards, any thoughts on the value? The value is what you decide, like whatever someone's going to list it at. If there's none on the market and there's none that have been sold, I mean, sky's the limit. That's one of the most difficult things in this hobby is trying to price cards like that are very either rare or scarce, or their condition rarity is very rare or scarce. And so I don't have a good answer, man. Like, try to get a good multiple of what other what I would do. Here's what I would do. I would look at what other very low population perfect 10s or black labels have went for of other like cards. All right, like promos of popular Pokemon. See what the margin was between a PSA 10 compared to the perfect, or a pristine compared to the black label, whatever, and try to list it at a similar margin and see if you get a buyer. That's my best guess there. What Pokemon would you want to have in real life? One for usefulness, one just because you want one. Oh man, so again, I talked about this before. I grew up with Mastiffs, good dogs. And so whenever they made that Mabosstiff card, it just reminded me of the dogs I've had my whole life I grew up with. And so I would have I'd have a Mabosstiff. I'd have that buddy. I'd have that buddy hanging around the house. And then for usefulness, man, usefulness. Gotta take Mewtwo, right? Just teleport me places, move anything around with psychic ability, right? Basically battle anything that comes my way. I'll take a Mewtwo usefulness, Mabosstiff just to have around. Just to hang out. Sword and Shield base for 350. I think there's a lot of things for 350 that are probably better pickups in my opinion. The one thing you have going for it is it's extremely scarce. And we have seen scarce boxes in the past do very well. So I'm not saying you can't be right on that, but I'd rather have like a Chilling Reign probably than that. But not a terrible idea, not a terrible decision. It's been in the 300s for a long time. It's extremely, it didn't get a reprint. You could do very well on it. Alex, check your email. I responded to you. Yeah, guys, we covered this earlier in the video. The amount of Instagram, Discord, emails I'm getting these days is like, it's far too many to get to everyone every single day. Obviously, I prioritize my Patreon emails. And then other than those, I try to get to everybody in somewhat of a timely manner. If I don't get back to you the next day, I apologize. I'll do my best. Do my best, man. The quantity is just so much these days with the market the way it is. Cheap people don't deserve Pokemon. What kind of a take is that? Pokemon Center. Who's this? Sir, I'm running a live stream here. Who are you?
Dude, every time I put him in the crib, he just wakes right back up.
Here, I did have a question up here. I think we wanted your take on. Hold on. Oh, here it is. How about Paradox or Temporal? Which one to invest in?
Temporal.
Temporal. And then also this one. 10 Blooming Waters or trade them to a friend for a case of Prismatic ETBs?
That's tough.
Blooming Waters, bro.
I mean, Prismatic long-term, it's going to be insane too. I'd rather have ETBs than collection boxes. And you're the one that preaches that all the time.
It's just, dude, I just think there's gonna be a better entry point.
This kid has slept only
Here,
4 hours.
If Prismatic was the same age, I agree with you. But because it's brand new and they already said they're gonna reprint, like I'd rather be with an older set that's probably close to its last print run.
Yeah, I mean, just ETBs though. You always preach against collection boxes.
True. I mean, I did make that video and said the market shifted again though. When I talk about rip and ships have shifted the whole market. I think loose packs and any product with packs in it, I think is a thing again.
Yeah.
Because before it was hard to move those kind of products because, like you said, me and you get reached out to people all the time and we're like, hey, I can't pay you 85% on all your collection boxes, tins, all that BS, right? I pay 85, 90% on booster boxes on things like I actually, want for investment. But nowadays, because packs are so scarce, I think anything with loose packs, boxes, they're all going to be able to be easily liquid to streamers.
No, that makes sense.
All right, question. I started collecting in November 24 with only buying singles and opening some packs here and there. Do you think I should start getting some sealed or keep doing what I'm doing? Buy
some sealed. Absolutely. Buy some sealed. Right now, singles are super high and they'll fluctuate way more than the sealed will. And like Alex said, like you're always ripping boxes. So there's going to be less and less on the market. And these singles are going to keep getting pulled and pulled and pulled. So definitely put some money in the sealed. Like diversify your money. If you love the singles, yeah, keep buying them. But if you're looking at it in an investment standpoint, you can't go wrong with sealed.
Yeah, and if you still want to keep opening the singles and collecting them, and you can afford it, buy a box, open a box. That way you get to enjoy it, open it, collect the cards. Maybe you can go on TCG Player and buy some of the ones you didn't pull that you wanted, and then just keep one of the boxes sealed. And that's how you can start off.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Surging Sparks at 161, still a good buy. What?
161's a great price.
Oh, was there a vending machine too? Yeah. Why do people even ask Skywalker? No hate, dude, but why do you even ask these questions, dude? Like, it's like $90 under market price. Like this is not even a question. It's you just buy it.
Come on, Booze.
Paladin Fates booster bundle 26, dude. That's worth like $60. Like,
are they really $60 now?
I don't know. Dude. Anything that you can find that far under market, you buy. Just buy. You ask questions later. You buy and ask questions later. I'm looking up Paladin Fates right now. Yeah, they're $50. They're literally going for more than $50 in a bundle. So you're getting half price there, and you're getting like a 40% discount almost on the Surging Sparks. Yeah, you buy those. You don't ask us, you buy. Turntable TCG, what's your biggest takeaway from being a PokeTuber? Proudest moment, one piece of advice or tool you can share with all the aspiring creators? Oof. Do you want to take this? You're not a PokeTuber, you're an Instagram model.
What's the question?
Biggest takeaway from being a PokeTuber, I would say content creator. Proudest moment, one piece of advice you can share with aspiring creators.
One piece of advice.
PokeTuber, but he's an Instagram Uber.
For my growth, one piece of advice is post every day. Post every single day, right? Reels bring in so many people, right? Reels boosted my followers like another 500 people in a matter of 3 days.
Why'd you start posting those?
Because I used to post a lot of stories, and Alex told me to post more reels, but multiple people said, you got to post reels. When we were at the dinner with Applesauce, he said, he's like, reels is where it brings everything. And by me posting that last reel, I'm now monetized by Instagram, which is kind of huge. Right.
That's awesome, dude. Congrats again, man.
Yeah. So it's really cool that I'm monetized on Instagram now. Now I can make at least some money for posting reels. But another key thing is hashtags. I know I sound like I'm in 2012, but hashtags, like I hashtag everything. And like, say if I like put up a Greninja, like I'll hashtag Greninja. So then you'll have a whole bunch of Greninja fans come in there. Hashtag Pokemon, hashtag Pokemon TCG, hashtag blah, 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 hashtag this. And you pick the hashtags that have over 1 million hashtags, right? or over 600,000 hashtags, and more people are going to go into that area, right? This is just for Instagram, and this is what's working for me. But consistency is key, because you'll find yourself like, when I had all my crystals, I was posting a crystal every day, and it put me into the algorithm where like your main Instagram page, right? This is one of my buddies like, dude, I saw you on the main Instagram page. Like my picture was there, and it was because I
like went through like a zen phase in your life. You just had a bunch of crystals.
Yeah. Yeah. The sunlight was hitting them, so my chakras are through the roof.
Like an amethyst.
My chi was aligned, bro. Don't hate on the chi.
Could you actually like bring it out and like shoot like a Kai blast?
Not coming.
So the crystals, that's where you were getting the big following from?
It wasn't just the crystals. The modern brought the most views to my page ever. It was when I was posting like the PSA 10 Rayquaza, the PSA 10 Moonbreon, the PSA 10 Greninja from Twilight, like all that stuff. Like the modern is when I saw the whole influx, the Giratina, all that stuff. So yeah, just post every day. It doesn't have to be a PSA 10, like post like a picture or post, anything. Just keep posting singles every day. That's key. Every day.
Yeah, he's right. Consistency is the biggest thing. Don't try to be a perfectionist. This is one of the things I try to tell Nick all the time. I'm trying to get him to make his YouTube channel, but it's like, don't think you need to start out being perfect. Like just put out a video, like, speak your thoughts, give a different take, give a different spin to whatever you're going to try to do. And don't think it needs to be like a viral video out of the gate, because it won't be, right? Your channel is not going to get found by 1 million people overnight. Like, so, just start posting, get started, be consistent, have your own takes, have your own like spin, and you'll be fine. Be good.
Yeah.
Our pal the Val booster box is still a good buy at 200. Yep. I think
yeah,
so.
I think they're done.
Yeah, I think so.
I truly think they're done.
Do you keep an inventory? Market Scrapper, I barely know what day it is, dude. I haven't updated anything. I'm going to have to for taxes, but the business has grown so fast on me, and that's why I'm hiring an employee to hopefully, tame things down. But dude, I couldn't even tell you what I have right now. I couldn't tell you how many packs of each thing I have, how many boxes of each box I have. My shelves are so disorganized that if you ask me, Alex, how many do you have of this set? I couldn't tell you, because as I pull ones off to like use for stream, I'm getting more in the mail. I'm just throwing them on the shelf. I'm throwing ETB cases and PC ETBs, and the shelves, all my downstairs, it is a mess. I couldn't even tell you what I have. So no, like normally I did keep an inventory. Right now, that's gone out the window. I'm just like waking up every day, working until I drop, getting up the next day, doing it again. And everything that comes in, I'm just kind of throwing in boxes, throwing on shelves, and just kind of keeping the machine, fed. So, yeah, maybe I'll do an inventory when I figure out what I have. When I figure out exactly what I have and what, I'll let you know. I'll do that for you, brother. Is it foolish to start buying undervalued Gen 2 Pokemon and trainers, especially in 10 quality in preparation for Pokemon Johto set? Yeah, man. I mean, this is what people did with the megas with XY when the Mega game was released, the Pokemon Z to A or whatever. And then it's what people are doing right now with the Team Rocket cards, right? Team Rocket's coming out. Everyone's buying the Team Rocket cards. They're going to the moon. Could be another play. It's hard to always predict the singles market, but again, just try to be right more than you're wrong. It seems like a good catalyst. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. If you think it's got a chance, put your money where your mouth is. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I think it sounds like a good play. I don't know if it's going to work, but it sounds good. The premise makes sense. So Journey Together is going to have the same run as Surging Sparks because they're reprinting Prismatic, if not less than. Yeah, I would expect similar performance as Surging Sparks. Sorry. I hate this too, guys. I hate this too. I want product widely available. I want to say, hey, distro, send me 50 cases. I've got plenty to open. I don't have to try to make a million private deals and try to take high risk buying packs way up here, hoping they don't drop to here before. I don't like this, right? So it sucks. I know. That's where we're at. Look at this guy. Thinks he's Rudy.
No, I don't. Rudy's on a whole nother level. I just respect him.
It's crazy, man. Tips on holding onto booster boxes long term?
Put them in your closet and set it and forget it. That was the best thing I ever heard PokeRub say. Set it and forget it.
Doing my first card show this weekend. Any buy sell tips? I caught the note about watching the short term spikes. That will be useful. Yes. Yeah. So make sure if you're buying, you're not just like looking at whatever, app you're using, whether it be, I think a lot of people use Alt, some use TCG, some eBay.
Just bring cash.
What?
Bring cash.
Yeah, but make sure you're scrolling back. Like if you're using TCG Player, look at the 3 to 6 month chart. If you're using eBay, make sure you like scroll back to like the like ending. What's the opposite of ending soonest? Like ending latest, or like look at what happened 3 months ago and what things were at, and see if they've had like a steady price rise or if it's been a massive spike recently. And look, don't be afraid to turn business away. Don't be afraid to say, I don't want that card, or don't be afraid to offer them 60%. Be like, look, I get it, but I'm taking a lot of risk buying in at these spikes. So but yeah, and as far as like selling tips, I mean, dude, you don't really need help selling right now. Listed at market price, you're probably gonna get full market.
Yeah, selling's gonna be pretty easy, but the buying at shows is tough because I see a lot of people now, they want like 110% for their product. And it's like everybody wants 110%. Like you'll go down a line and you'll be like, but market's, $400. And they're like, yeah, I need 450. Like it's like that. And then they say, go buy it off eBay. People are becoming more ruthless. And the thing is, I've been going to these shows for a long time. When I say 95% of those people are all new vendors that I've never seen before, right?
Yeah.
So now you have these people in the new market that are buying super high, so they want to sell higher because they're buying higher, right? Like the vendors have changed drastically in the past, 4 years.
Well, yeah, because when you're newer, right, it's the hardest part of starting this business because you don't have a large inventory that you have large amounts of profits built into. Like, how we always talk, it's like, well, I'm only in this for this much. I'm only in this for that much. It's like you're in that for high prices because you're buying in this market. Whereas a lot of vendors who have been here for 6 months a year, they're into a lot of their inventory for very small. So they can, kind of wheel and deal a little more, where a lot of these people are working off very thin margins and they just can't do it.
Well, this is how I know the market changed, because the guy came up to my table and I had all the slabs that I recently graded. He's like, hey man, he's like, would you be interested in selling like any of your slabs at 90%? I'm like, what, 90%? This guy's offering me 90%. And it's on stuff that I just graded. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, just tell me when you want me to stop. And he's like grabbing slab after slab after slab. Bro, I've never had anyone like say, hey, if you don't want me to buy all these, I won't buy them. Like, it's so different now when people are buying them. What?
Did he buy them?
Yeah, he bought them.
How much was the sale?
It wasn't anything crazy. He bought a case of Surging Sparks. He bought, I think it was like 10 slabs.
So a couple grand.
Yeah.
People got money to spend, man. Mr. J, this is a great question. I want to get your take on it, Nick. Do you think all evolutions from Prismatic will come down in value as more product will be coming out soon?
In the short term, it will, right? But it's going to be like exactly what Evolving's got is. All those evolutions dropped and then they all skyrocketed. So I do think everything's going to come down eventually, right? But I think then they're going to go back up.
I'm scared they won't.
You think they're going to come down and stay down?
No, I'm scared they won't come down.
No, because a lot, especially if Pokemon does reprint. Listen,
these mystery boxes and these mini tins are the shortest print I've seen.
Yeah, but
so what's going to happen is people think more products coming. They're like, oh, it's going to come down. They're going to realize, dude, there's barely any product coming. And the product that is coming, a lot of people are going to keep those mini tins sealed. A lot of people are going to open those surprise boxes maybe to grade the promos. A lot of those are going to stay sealed. It's like there's not going to be as many packs coming to the market as people are expecting.
But we don't know that yet. So this is what I was going to say. If they print this the way they printed Crown
Zenith, have already given out the numbers, dude. They're small.
All right, but listen how long this can last for, right? So if they print this the way they print Crown Zenith, right, and it just keeps coming out.
Oh, you're talking about like long term.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm talking about guys. I don't know if we're going to see them drop in the next like month, 2 months, as much as people think.
Oh no, not in the next month or so. Absolutely not.
But
I
that's what
think.
he's saying. He's like, with the more product coming, like I don't think this more product that's coming is going to be enough to do much to this market.
Yeah, I think eventually they're going to come down after they keep printing and printing and printing.
Yeah. If you're looking for the best time to pick them up, yeah, I do think there'll be a time in the next 2 years that they'll be cheaper than they are right now. But I could actually see the like if these products come out and people realize. Well, first of all, these are very low pack products. Mini tins have 2 packs, and the mystery boxes, I forget how many, 5 packs maybe. They're not a lot of packs, and so they're a very small print run of not a lot of packs per product. It's not going to really shake up the
I'm not
market that
opening
much.
mine. I only got 3 of them, and I'm not opening mine.
Yeah, so here it might be this thing where the market's dropping. It's almost like this.
Take a nap.
It's almost like people are selling the news, and because they're like selling. So you're seeing the prices drop a bit on Prismatic right now. Once this wave gets here and people realize, oh wait, the market isn't really getting a lot of supply, it might actually take the other direction. And they might rise more.
I mean, I don't. How much more is it going to rise though?
Well, and think about this: people like you're getting sick of it. Other people are saying it's too hard to pull, and they just stop trying to pull the card. They stop opening as many packs, which will probably rise the singles more because there'll be less supply on the market. Again, guys, do not go out and FOMO buy these things. I'm not telling you to do that. We're talking about very short-term price. It's just for hypothetical. It's for fun. I'm not trying to FOMO anyone into buying these cards. Don't buy them. Don't buy them. I'm just saying there's a very real possibility in 2 to 3 months, these evolutions are even higher, which is crazy.
That'd be kind of crazy though, dude. Like, how much higher do you? They're $4,200 for the lot.
I mean, it's just my take. We'll see. I mean, again, I'm not giving like a buy, signal. Like, don't buy. Like, do not buy these. Right? Like, I'm not creating FOMO.
This guy just sold an English Umbreon and a Japanese Umbreon PSA 10s for over $6,000 for a brand new card. Yeah. This will drop. There's no way it's going to maintain those kind of numbers.
Right. My thing is when though. Like, I don't know if it's going to happen when these surprise box and mini tins get here. I don't think that's going to be the case.
I don't think that, but I think in 4 to 6 months it could.
Yeah, I agree. What did Pokemon say when they turn on the max capacity or whatever? Yeah, maybe when that happens and a big reprint of ETBs gets here, that's when it'll happen. But not until then, I don't think. Two different people asked this. Is it the PC ETBs? Question: thoughts on Shrouded Fable PC ETBs for what could be the final PC ETB case? Everyone's talking about PC ETBs.
I think for the next year or so, we're not going to see PC ETB cases anymore.
Yeah.
Like Team Rocket not happening. And the anniversary is coming up next year. So it's like, I think a full year of no more PC ETB cases.
Advice for a new investor on a budget.
Brilliant Stars and Shrouded Fable on Pokemon Center.
Yeah, I mean, you could take it both ways. You could, if you're wanting to start small, like start out with the smaller sets, like that are less expensive. Shrouded Fable. You can buy some of the early Scarlet Violet sets, like Paradox, Temporal, like we talked about before. Maybe even a base set. If you want to save up, if depending on what your budget is, and save up and get some of these Sword and Shield boxes that like a Silver Brilliant, Astral, Chilling, Lost, something like that. These questions are so hard because I don't know your financial situation. I don't know how much money you have to dedicate to the hobby. I don't know how long you can hold it. I don't know if it's all just fun money or if you're, I don't know, so it's hard for me to say that. Question about Crown Zenith. I mean, you can definitely still see runs in them. They've ran a lot, so be careful getting in at the prices already. We'll ask Nick. I don't buy into hype, right? I'm not a hype buyer. I don't buy into things when they go up 100% or something. So I probably wouldn't be buying right now, but maybe Nick has a different take than me. That's why we have him on, because we have very different takes on things, and people need to hear both sides of it. I like buying when people don't want something. That's why I've talked about Shrouded. He's talking about Shrouded. I like sets that are very low risk. Nobody likes right now. That might be better in the future. I don't like to buy sets that everyone already is hyping up and jumping into, and cards are going 200% up. I don't like. I'm not buying the Persian from Shrouded Fable, right? I'm not buying some of these crazy high flying cards. It just doesn't make sense for me right now. I'm selling those cards, right? I'm the one selling those cards.
Yeah, there's no reason to buy stuff like that right now.
He's talking about Crown Zenith. Like, do you think any of those are buys? Those singles?
Yeah, there's still a lot of relatively cheap ones. You know, I think Crown Zenith. That's the thing right now for me personally. I think Crown Zenith ETBs are still a buy at this price because that's not coming back, and I see the potential of ETBs now. So I think Crown Zenith definitely is a buy right now. If you can find them for $90 to $100 in ETB, why not? Well, look at some of these other sets, $200 ETBs. Crown Zenith to me is still one of the greatest sets, right?
It is for sure.
From top to bottom, Crown Zenith is stacked. I love that.
Keep it in stock. Can't do it. Every night there, guys. This set is over 2 years old. We're still getting like 300 packs open at night on stream.
Yeah, that's insane. And they tried printing the set to the ground. Look what they did with Shining Fates. Shining Fates stayed the same price for 3 years, you know? And people were paying $100 for Shining Fates at one point in the beginning, right? Like my one buddy, I was talking to him last night. He paid $700 for a case, which was a good buy back then. He still hasn't got his money back, right?
Yeah.
I just see the potential with Crown Zenith because I just sent a whole bunch of cards to get graded from Crown Zenith. I went in my binder. I took out the Mewtwo. I took out the Suicune, Raikou, Entei because I love the way they look. I took the Zacian and Zamazenta. They're cheap, but I love the way they look. I want them in my PC with a cool graded guard. Yeah, I think, dude, a graded. Look what a graded guard does to a card.
Oh my god!
I'm not sponsored by them.
That is amazing.
Like,
are you being beautiful?
Are you being sarcastic? Of course you are.
No, of course not. I'm serious.
Like, that is insane.
I'm never sarcastic. What are you talking about, dude?
Like, that thing is beautiful.
Yeah, I think that ups the value by like at least double.
You're an idiot.
It does.
But the graded guards are look at like.
It's almost like putting a spoiler on your like Honda Prelude. You know, you just like it just doubles the value.
I'm not even talking about doubling. I'm saying as a collector to have this on your slab, it looks really cool.
What is the current? Oh wait, did we take that other one? Oh no, the conspiracy that they're printing Rocket, anticipating these sets or the hype behind it, and leaving these sets short printed. That's a conspiracy.
I mean, everything feels short printed right now, but it's not. It's just high demand.
What is the current barrier to entry Pokemon business like? What's the minimum amount of capital product inventory needed to start? Modest living, not trying to be a Pokemillionaire. A Pokemillionaire.
I mean, 20 grand?
$100? I mean, what are we talking? Like, this is such a hard question. Like, Sebastian, like, quit your job and make a living doing this? Dude, like, I don't know, 100 grand? If you're wanting to make a side income, $100. Like, start buying a collection out. Buy some singles and I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not. I didn't start out with anything. I never started a business. Like, right? I just started out collecting. You know, finding lots that I could like buy for a couple $100, keep a couple cards out of it, breaking down, sell it back, make like $300-$400. So I make like $100-$200 profit. Take that money, do the same thing. And I would do that for a year and just like build up a collection, build up an inventory. And, you know, I started with relatively nothing, right? So it's like, there's a lot of factors. How fast you want to grow. Are you trying to make a full-time income? What kind of income are you trying to make? How much time do you have? Like, I don't like this question.
Well, the thing is, like, for me, now that I'm like looking back at it, like I didn't start with 20 grand. I started with boxes. 100. Yeah, I started with a box here and there. Like,
no, I was gonna say I didn't start with 20 grand. I started with 100 grand.
No, bro. My collection when I first started, you know, and I found the stuff from when I was a kid, right? So before the boom happened, my collection was probably only like 4 or 5 grand, if I'm being realistic. Then the boom happened, and then all my base set stuff doubled. Some EX stuff I had, some Diamond and Pearl stuff, Platinum, it all went through the roof. And I liquidated like a first edition Red Cheek Pikachu for so much money, base set Zard for so much money, and I just kept putting into the hobby. So it depends. Like, this isn't like, let me dump. Like, if you want to go fast, you're going to have to put so much money into it nowadays. That's why I said 20 grand. But back then, it wasn't like that.
Ezio, no. You didn't hear that right. Neither of us said there was no plans to print Prismatic. We said there was no plans to print Paradox. I said that. That was a correspondence straight from a distributor that said Pokemon had no plans to reprint Paradox. Prismatic's getting more waves, and they're probably going to get more reprints too. So no, there'll be more Prismatic. Why is no one talking about investing in Team Up? That's all I'm buying right now. Team Up sealed ETBs and blister packs. I mean, I would say probably one reason is it's out of a lot of people's price range, and it's ran up so much that a lot of people are kind of scared to get in at the prices of that. But yeah, there's still meat on the bone, man. It's kind of like buying Apple stock. It's like, well, Apple stocks, ran up however much over the years, but people still buy it every single day. There's nothing wrong with buying blue chips. I just think a lot of people probably try to buy want to buy like the new high flying stuff that they can see like higher margins faster. And like, once those boxes like Team Up kind of get to where they're at, they're more of like blue chips where they're going to like hold, they're going to rise steadily more likely. And you're probably not going to see as crazy spikes as we've seen recently on it. So maybe that's one of the reasons, but hey, you can still do very well in it. I mean, maybe we're wrong and it goes 10K a box. I don't know. I really don't know. Man, I know nothing about ace grading cheese. We can ask Plumber. I know zero about it. I'm not even going to speak on it. I have not I don't have a negative or positive opinion on it. Just base. Do you have any opinion on ace grading?
I mean, like I said, I like who I grade with. PSA.
Foreign Star, thanks for the being a member for 2 months, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like horrible. I mean, they've actually asked me to work with them. But I don't grade with them personally. I grade with PSA, so I'm not going to put my name behind something that I'm not truthfully using, Like, I'm only going to recommend what I would personally use. That's it.
Dude, this dude has been in here the whole video saying, show your investments, show this, show that, CTR's videos, because he was showing what he's holding. Dude, go watch CTR. Like, I don't know what to freaking tell you.
What does he want to see?
He like keeps leaving these comments like, here, I'd love to see your biggest positions of sealed. Like, why does nobody show their position? He just keeps saying over and over, show your positions. Like, dude, don't be here.
Go to my Instagram. I show plenty.
Oh my God, we do a podcast here. We're not here like to go and show what we have.
Is that what I should do on my YouTube? Show my positions?
Go for it, man. I mean, obviously people want it, dude. They want it.
And then they're going to tell me. Then if I do that, they're going to tell me they hope my house burns down. Where do I live so they can rob me?
Right.
Yeah.
If grading is depending on policies, it's just wrong. Therefore, grading by machines, no humans involved, is the grading process.
I mean, everyone has their own opinion.
I mean, machines make mistakes. If machines didn't have errors, we wouldn't need any text to fix them. I don't know. And every machine is also coded by a human.
It's true.
What are you wanting from this hobby? I've got it. I've already got what I want from this hobby. I wanted to be able to make a living doing something I enjoy and not doing something that I hate. So I'm already living what I wanted, the dream. So I have it. This is great. Being able to make content, being able to, have open crazy amounts of packs, have crazy cards, move through my hand, meet others in the hobby that are doing the same thing, go to events and meet all of you guys and everything about it, man. Like I said, there is very little I dislike about this job. One is shipping, which I'm getting that taken care of. Getting an employee in here, I'm gonna have we're gonna get down to literally. I am gonna enjoy every single aspect of everything I do, which is great. So that's my goal. That's what I've been going for. What about you?
I mean, this hobby's given me so much. Like, in all seriousness, like awesome friendships. Like it's wild because some of my best friends I've made in this are from this hobby, right? Like best friends. Um, I mean, it does bring a financial aspect to it, right? Like I'd be lying if I said I didn't make money from this hobby. And then, I mean, it's like my escape from reality. Like I said, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. You know,
Missing out.
um, so I really, this is like my escape. Like it's fun to collect. It's fun to chase something. It's fun to pull a card. Like that's where I'm getting my rush from, right? Like,
Dude, pulling that guy pack, that was crazy.
yeah, it must have been insane.
It's just
But
like I don't know how people. I don't know how maybe eventually it does, but I don't know how that doesn't end up being a rush for people anymore.
yeah, I don't know. Someone said, "Yeah, I'm missing out, guys." I partied so much back in the day that I'm lucky to even be sitting in this chair talking to you guys. Believe me.
And I have never done drugs, so I'm on the exact opposite side.
Yeah, I used to be an animal back in the day, but now I have kids. I have a family, dude. I can't go party and do what I used to do. Jesus.
Dude, this is gonna start a war. Do you think black and white might be the beginning of the cooldown? Because I don't know why, but people don't like Gen 5.
Dude, black and white is amazing. I don't.
Ooh.
Black and white. I'm excited for black and white. I'm so excited, dude. Reshiram, Zekrom, like, come on,
That's gonna
dude.
start a war, man.
Like, I think black and white's gonna be insane, insane.
I think we're gonna get a point where the alt arts become old news and Pokemon goes back to the point where value is determined by pop again.
I don't. The arts are only getting crazier. They're bringing artists from other animes in now, and the art is just through the roof, right? Like the thing is, people collect art. Look at that Greninja card. There's so many of them, and people love that card because the art is amazing. The Magneton in Searching Sparks ETB, the art is amazing. Like the Magikarp. Look at that card. That's not like a SIR. It's just an illustration rare, but the art is fantastic, so people are buying it.
Who says the pop's not important?
What do you mean?
I mean, what does he mean? Oh, because there's more population than there was in 1999.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that means it's not important. This is the fallacy that the vintage community falls into more than the modern. Is they have a hard time keeping up with the times and understanding that there are infinitely more people in the hobby and infinitely more demand for these cards than there used to be, and that can support higher populations. And the fact that there's actually less percentage of a lot of the modern cards on the market at any given time in a specific grade than there are vintage cards. What I mean is, if a vintage card has a 100 population report, but there's 5 of them on the market in a PSA 10, that means 5% of that card is in circulation, right? Is on the market. Whereas if a modern card has 10,000 population, but only 90 are available on the market, that's got less than 1%, right? Less than 1% of the right there of the population currently on the market, meaning it's actually more scarce on the market than a lot of those cards. And I think people have a hard time quantifying the demand because it's like a number you have to guess at. And I think the pops are important, but just saying one pop is lower than another, that's not important because you can't quantify the demand for one thing over another. And the fact of the matter is, no matter how much anyone hates to hear this and don't like modern cards, there's most likely never going to be the amount of popularity and demand for cards that are even pre like 2016 with Evolutions and Pokemon Go, pre 2021 with the Logan Paul boom, Hidden Fates, all that, pre now, right? There's never going to be times where, these newer cards don't have increased levels of demand than other times in the hobby because the hobby's bigger now than ever. More people are entering now than ever. And these are the cards they're growing up with and they're entering with that they now have a level of nostalgia for. So that's why I just don't, me and a lot of the vintage people butt heads on this, topic, because I don't think the number of the population is important as all the other factors combined.
I agree with that. I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, right, with all these new collectors, like even for me, someone who collected Wati era, even for me, if now the newer stuff's nostalgic to me because I'm like, hey, I pulled that Rayquaza from Evolving Sky, so I have nostalgia for it. So it just keeps adding up because now you have all these people coming to the hobby and they pulled theyese cards in Sword and Shield and like, oh my god, that gave me that feeling. I was with my family, my friends. I pulled that with my daughter. So now you have different age groups. It's not just one age that has nostalgia for the base set Zard. Like I did a poll, which is insane. I did a poll on my Instagram. And guys, I'm a vintage collector too, right? And I have a lot of vintage people on my page, and I said Moonbreon or base set Charizard, and there was hundreds and hundreds of people that voted for this, and the Moonbreon won like 50, I think it was like 56%. Like people chose the Moonbreon over base set Zard, which is insane.
That's a W for modern, baby.
That's even insane to me. I couldn't believe it, but I mean, I
couldn't believe how close it was. I thought it would be like 70% Moonbreon.
Oh, dude, you're out of your mind. But the thing is, and I said this with the Tina, even though the Tina has a higher pop, I said, if you look at the other alt art, the Girantina's pop isn't even that high, because it's like, if you have 1 million people that want a card and there's less than 10,000 of them, like do the percentage. It's actually kind of wild. The arts are really proving that they can withstand the Gengar populations through the roof. That's over $1,000 card. It's kind of neat, actually.
Hey guys, I'm trying to scroll up. I was like back at like 2 hours. We're almost at 3, or I was at 2 o'clock. It's almost at 3 Central. So like I'm trying to get through the chat a little quicker. If I missed your question, I do apologize. I'm just trying to look for something that's a little like different than what we've been answering to try to get some variety. So I'm not trying to like dodge you or skip your question. I do apologize if I scroll past your question. So sorry about that. Let's see if we can find something here. So Chris Pye is saying, I got my allocations from Southern Hobby today, Journey Together product, getting double what I did for Surging Sparks. What?
He's saying he's getting double. I mean, well, you're one of the few because Southern Hobbies told 2 of my places that they're getting less. They literally said this, less than what they're getting for Surging Sparks. So you might be lucky. I don't know, buddy.
Yeah. And we'll do a video with Pokemart USA too. Eli's got 5 distributors. He'll give his numbers, but I don't know. I'm not going to comment on it, man. Maybe you did. I don't know.
No, he's legit, so maybe he did.
Yeah, I mean that's not the norm. We'll say that. That's not the norm. Would I keep Blooming Waters sealed or break it down? You can't put Humpty Dumpty back together again, man. As long as you have the room for it, I keep it sealed. If it's a problem about space, then yeah, you can always break it down. I mean, like I said, streamers are always going to need loose packs. But he did say space. Okay. Weighing this premium sealed box versus efficient space storage. I would say, dude, until you run out of space, keep it sealed. And then if the time comes where you're getting too much product and you need more space, I would say that would be a good product you could break down.
I'm a huge fan of Venusaur and Blastoise, so that's like a product I would love to keep sealed. Like everybody, I know so many, like I'm lucky. I have extra room, right? So I have all my collection boxes and all my tins, and I never break them down. I always keep them as a whole. And
he's got buildings that he owns. He just stores product in.
It's wild to say this, but like it's easier to sell loose packs than it is a tin, right? Because I'll give you guys a quick little story. So I have these tins, and they have Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies in them. And this is when Evolving hit like, I don't know, $10 a pack. And I was trying to sell the tins with Evolving and Fusion for $10 a tin. Right. And there was 10 of them in one little case. Couldn't sell them. Then they went up to $15 for the Evolving, and I was just throwing the Fusion in for free. Tried selling them for $15. I could never sell these. And I brought them to 5 different shows. I brought them to Collecticon all the way in Chicago. Moonlight didn't want them. I couldn't get rid of them. I still have these cases of tins that have Evolving and Fusion in them. And look at them now. Now I'm like, awesome. I'm so happy I didn't sell them.
Getting paper. Question for Plumber. Did you get in on the graded guard drop today like you wanted?
I got the melons, and I had the other one in my cart, right? I had 10 and 10, right? And then the blue ones didn't check out. It said, sorry, it's sold out, error. So I hurried up and I checked out the melon. Then the abyss came back in stock and I hit checkout again. So I got the melons, but I didn't get the abyss. And I wanted the blue because blue's my favorite color. Yeah, dude. And that's the thing. It's hard to buy graded guards. After 13 minutes, it's sold out.
Favorite graded guard, Plumber?
My favorite graded guard right now is the cotton candy. I think it's insane. The cotton candy is I have every graded guard. This is insane. Like, this is insane. I love it.
I'm just in my head. I'm trying to figure out if I want to talk about graded guards or bulk. Like, those are my two things I love the most. Yeah, let's keep talking about graded guards. Bulk's even worse.
Dude, the graded guards, you know what? I don't know. Because I talked to them a long time ago. I should have sold them when they weren't even big. You know, my buddy Jay Wong Boutique, shout out. He was selling graded guard before anyone else did, and he used to get them. He probably still gets them for way cheaper than everybody. But now it's very, very different. Yeah, Mr. Haskett hooked me up. Thank you, brother. You're the man. Thank you. Absolute legend. You got to
now freaking running to the rip is saying Alex is right. My distro numbers are even worse for mini tins than the first. Oh, that's never mind. That's prismatic.
Hold on. He's talking about Roaring Moon. Look at this. Look at this.
What are we looking at?
Roaring Moon. Ready? I'm going to show you 2 Roaring Moons real quick. And this is the power of graded guard, right? Like, look at that thing. Look how beautiful that is. And then the gold makes the background pop out like no other. So nice. Like, look at that. Isn't that sick? It's not an expensive card, but it just pops. Dude, whatever. Whatever.
No, they look good, man. I gotta screw with you. I have to. No, they look good. They look good. I like them.
They look phenomenal.
I like them. I'm just looking for a question for real, man. That's what I'm really doing.
And I do keep some slabs on display. I have a couple of these cases, so I could put them in my booster boxes, and then I have a couple of these.
Yeah, that one looks beefy.
Oh yeah. Well, I had a Gold Star PSA 10 Ray in that.
What is that? Like, it's like another. It's almost like a booster box acrylic for a card.
It's like a Phantom. It's called Phantom Display.
Jeez. Like, is it like bulletproof?
I don't know. You want to put yourself in it, and we'll try. Yeah.
All right, here we got one. I recently, this is pooped up cheese. I recently sold some temporal ETBs for $100 on eBay. Buyer paid over $120 with shipping and tax. My final payment was $82 after shipping, label, tax. Is this normal? Feel like eBay robbed me. Seems normal to me.
What was it, Alex?
I mean, he sold them for $100 and got $82. I mean, that's
yeah. eBay's fees are super high.
Well, no, I mean 13% your fee, and then you got to pay your shipping. That's right. That's normal. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Then since they had taxes, you're going to get feed on the taxes. That's only a couple hours extra. No, that's normal. I mean, 13% would be $87, and it probably costs you $5. Honestly, that's cheap. $5 a ship is not much. So you're good. That is normal. Have you sold off any of your positions? They asked me, but we can both answer this. The only thing I've sold off is some Surging Sparks because I had a lot. Like I over ordered, and when the reprint news came, I just made sure I had it. You know, I have some that I'm holding. I have some for rip and chips, and I did sell off some because I had like 100 and something boxes still. I had like 20 cases, and I was just like, I'm gonna get rid of some. I don't need 20 cases going into a reprint. So I did sell some of those.
How many cases are you holding going into the reprint?
I only have like 6, and then I've got some boxes for rip and chips. That's about it.
Okay.
What
Are
else?
you gonna try to grab a lot at the reprint?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and maybe they get more than one reprint, but I mean, if
What
they
do
get
you
down,
think the prices are gonna go to for the reprint?
if they get down to like the 160s to 180s, I'd be happy, but who knows?
I mean, I'd be happy if I saw cases at 9 and like no, I'd buy cases at 9.
Yeah, I'd like 150 a case or a box.
Yeah, I would definitely buy cases at 9.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't think I've sold anything else. Oh, I've sold off. I've been selling off my alt arts. So I sold off a good amount of my alt arts I was holding. A bunch of Lugias, a bunch of Charizards, some.
I know you sold Brian those Charizards. He told me.
Yeah, Grade Never Faded. I sold him 2 of the Charizards. Yeah, so I've just been moving.
How many
some
more
on eBay, some privately.
How many Lugias do you have left?
Just one. I sold everything else off. Dude, I got $700 a piece. I sold 2. Or no, I might have one still listed. I sold one at 700. I listed one at auction. It went for like
at 700.
Yeah, and the auction one went for like 685 or something.
Dude, Graded and Never Faded and I, we were talking. Remember when those God boxes came out and PSA 10 Lugias dropped down to 200?
Mm-hmm.
This is why we need to have Brian on here because we were talking. He's like,
he's got an open invitation.
Yeah, he's like, are we dumb for not buying every one of them right now at 200 a piece? And I said we might be. And those God packs, because when you're in the moment and things drop, this is why I always buy no matter what. Because when you're in the moment when things drop, nobody wants it, right?
Remember when the Fusion Strike like scandal happened where the guy had the stack of all the alt arts?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, those are never going to be worth anything now. Like,
yep. Yeah, I mean, dude, I might actually give you sealed product for a Lugia. Isn't that wild to say?
And man. I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing. It's like, so here's kind of like how I structure things, guys. Like, and this is when I was doing more grading. When I would do grading orders, right, and I would get the cards back, I would kind of like assess the market. And this is why I always say you have to go based on feeling. If I felt things were undervalued, I would throw them in the safe, right? If I felt, like it's probably better to sell this right now, then I would sell it. When I was getting the alt arts back 6 months ago or so, everything felt undervalued. I'm like, no, I'm not selling a Lugia for $300. I'm not selling a Charizard for $300. I'm not selling. None of it made sense, right? And so I just kept throwing them in the case, just throw them in the safe. And now with the big boom, everything is like over doubled. And I'm just like, yeah, now it seems like I'm happy taking profits now. And so I'm taking profits. So I'm taking out some slabs that I've been holding for a while. Like I mean like probably like 4, 6, 8 months. And then Surging Sparks is the only other thing I've sold. What's up, buddy?
That's the Pokey Baby, bro.
Yeah, buddy. What about you, man? Have you sold anything major?
Yeah, I sold some Sword and Shield cases to Rev. I sold a 151 Japanese case to him. But like the thing is, I only sold one case of every set, right? And I have a decent amount. So the thing is, even if it does drop, I can say at least I took some profits. But dude, you know me, I'm here for long term. So I still see, like when I look at Lost Origin, I see like a Unified Minds. When I look at, some of these Sword and Shield sets, I see Cosmic Eclipse. So I'm like, all right, they're going to be $1,000 a box. Like that's really when I'll move more stuff when they hit those numbers, $1,000 a box.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I told you I'm probably going to bring a lot of these XY boxes. If you guys are wanting XY boxes, look, I could sell them online, but I'd rather sell them in person. So I'll probably be bringing them to a show I've been this year. So I'll probably try to move some of the XY boxes this year, just because I had originally planned. So all these I've been buying, I just kind of like been holding from collections. Like I'll buy out an XY box collection and I'll keep a couple, rip the rest. But my goal was to eventually like get the whole XY collection. Now that because I had it once before I sold it all in 2021. But now that Flash Fire, Phantom Force, some of these boxes are getting so friggin' expensive, I'm not as much of a collector as Nick. Like, I don't want to spend $5,000 for a box in my collection. So it's to the point where I'm kind of just giving up on that dream at this point in my life. Maybe later on in life I can afford them when I'm, if I ever get rich or something. But for now, I'm probably going to let a lot of them go and just give up on that collection for right now.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it.
Gonna take them all?
Maybe.
Uh-oh. we got here? What do we got?
Which sets would you?
I make 6 figs buying and selling energy bulk. So ridiculous. Do you guys have jobs? You're looking at it, brother. You are looking at my job. I'm living my job. Pokey Plumber, guess what he is? A surgeon. A surgeon. He's a surgeon.
I'm a drain surgeon, baby.
The drain surgeon. How can I convince my neighbor to let me get her kids' old Pokemon cards out of the attic? The kids don't want them, and she won't let me get it. Oh my gosh. Oh man. That's a sore subject for Nick probably right now.
Yeah, that's the first thing that popped in my head. That's the first thing that popped in my head.
He was working a deal on a massive collection.
I don't even know if I want to talk about it yet, because what if it's like still there? I don't know.
Is it amazing there's still those out there?
It's amazing that there's still stuff like that out there. And like sealed cases of stuff like that too, which is the craziest part.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Ryan, he was going to help me with some financial stuff with that. If it really came down and she wanted that much for it. But I don't freaking know. It's like, dude, I'm trying to give you money. I don't understand it. Like, it doesn't just have to be plumbing work for that stuff, you know?
DW Haskett, let's get Alex a graded guard. Dude, I truly appreciate the super chat, man. Maybe now I have to buy one with it since that's why you gave it. Maybe I'll get myself a graded guard.
Dude, he hooked me up with the graded guard. You saw his comment.
Guys, you're here for the collector and the investor, right? I'm an investor. I just don't care about all the little knick-knack stuff. That's for the collector. You guys know this. You guys know this. Is using probe scene to sell the low effort plat 5 years from now? A low effort play 5 years from now? What other avenues for sale are hassle-free? I mean, yeah, you're not going to beat the 5% with Probstein. It's just not going to happen. I mean, if your cases are over $1,000, it's a 5% fee. Like, that's crazy. I've never used them. Have you used Probstein before?
Never.
You know,
I know people. I know people who have. He's very old school. Like, what you do is like you'll put your name, your address, and stuff like that, and you'll send it in. Like, there's not like he does everything like the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Alex doesn't have all that he claims to have. Dude, I've done a video in front of all my cases, multiple videos. I've showed you slabs I have. Like, what do you want from me?
Guys, Alex has more money than I do nowadays.
No.
Yes, he does.
Do I have a plumber has? No, but I mean, what do I claim to have? What do I claim to have? I claim to have 6 to 10 cases of each set. Like, that's what I have. I've never claimed to have a Rudy size position. I've never claimed to have $500,000, $1 million in Pokemon. I'm up to around probably 2 to 250 in Pokemon. That's what I have.
It's a big number.
I'm not, and that's the thing. It's like I don't have. I'll tell you something I don't have. I don't have some crazy graded card gem collection where I can show you all these vintage like grails that everyone's like all oozing alls over.
But wait. Slow down. You don't have to explain it. Do you just hear what you said? You have over $250,000 in Pokemon. So right. What do you have to explain?
I know what I'm saying is like when people like say like I don't have anything cool to show. It's all just cardboard cases of modern sealed boxes. I don't have any high-end boxes.
That's cool as shit. What do you mean?
I don't have any XY cases like Nick does. I don't have Sun and Moon cases. I just have a lot of modern sealed from Sword and Shield and Scarlet Violet era. That's it. And I have some slabs. Like there's just nothing. It's just very very slow, methodical growth.
A case of Evolving Skies isn't cool?
It is, and I have a couple of those. Like, it's just slow, methodical growth, man. Like, and the numbers sound crazy, but like, I've been in the hobby for 10 years. Like, when you're in the hobby for 10 years, it's not crazy, right? Because you could say, okay, if you have 200 grand, 250 grand, that's like 20, 25K a year for 10 years, right? But then think about that. That's not what you put in, but it's appreciated hundreds and hundreds of percent. So realistically, You could do exactly what I did with like 5 or 10 grand a year. That's like $500 to $800 a month. That's all it takes to build a position like this. If the gains stay similar over the next 10 years, you can do the same thing. It's not like this unbelievable amount of money. Like, grew up middle class. I'm still middle class. I don't understand what's like unbelievable about it. What do you not believe?
I think it's super solid, bro.
Huh?
I think what you have is solid.
It's solid. I don't think I make any crazy claims to where people are like, that's impossible. Like, what do you mean? It's very possible if you stay in this hobby 10 years. Very possible.
Yeah, like I said, when I got into
that's like saying if you have 200 grand in your 401k, it's like crazy. It's like, what?
I don't know. It's more. It's like 1%. You know, how many people do you know that has $250,000 in the Pokemon?
Well, I mean, I know a lot of people now. Like, I'm sure you do.
All right, but I'm saying, bro, it's still 1% out of all the people that collect.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Funny question, Namix. What brand that chair? I need a better chair for my desk. Crown Zenith. I think once the Skyboxes dry out, officially go to the moon. I agree. This is a cheap Wayfair chair, but I did just get my chair in the mail that I got from a sponsor. So I'm gonna make a video about that coming up. So I do actually have a new chair. So we'll see how that one is.
What is it?
Excited about that. Well, I gotta wait. I'll let you know. You gotta wait for the shout out, for the sponsored shout out. I can't give them 2.
Okay.
I gotta give them 1.
All right.
I demand you show all your possessions right now.
Back to like investing, right? So I'll give the people one of my plays, right?
Uh-oh.
I never share.
Listen up.
So Crown Zenith ETBs. That Lucario card is like one of my favorite Lucario.
You're giving that away?
I'm giving that away. I love that card. I think that card, right? Because now the ETBs...
Pump it, dude. Pump it.
Because, listen, the ETBs are now going up in value, right? So now when these ETBs are hitting $120, $140, right? And then inevitably, higher than that. Yeah. See? My man.
Just pump it. Hold on. Just keep pumping it.
I didn't know you had that many too.
Oh, man, I got too many.
Yeah. So it's easy to grade a 10. They grade
hundreds of Lucarios.
Dude, they grade 10 super easy, right? And it's just a freaking stellar card. It's Lucario. I mean, he's a newer Pokemon, but he's one of my favorite Pokemon. So look at the Hidden Fate birds, right? How much is that in a 10 right now?
I think I just sold one for like was it 140? Let me check. I'll tell you.
That's
just sold one at auction.
That's where I see it going.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I know they're going for a good amount.
Yeah.
All right. Hidden Fate's birds I sold it for $142.50 plus 5 shipping, so almost $150.
All right. So in enough time, that's where that Lucario is going to be.
Wow. That'd be crazy, dude.
I love that card.
Because that card, I think the birds is like 40, 45 raw. That'd be a massive play, man.
What's up, buddy? You're just losing your mind today.
Well, and Jesse just asked if you could pump one card, what would it be? Jesse, there you go, man. We pumped it.
The Lucario. He likes it.
Dude, I think all the prices will rise because ripping shippers are ripping packs 24/7 since there are no reprints for Sword and Shield cards 3 years. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, like.
And think about this: the Sea and Sky boxes didn't have a Lucario promo. Like, I'm thinking about that.
Dude, if ripping shipping stays the way it is and more people continue to do it, we're gonna see Sword and Shield and Scarlet Violet reach the Sun and Moon's XY prices in like half the time it took them.
Well, that's the thing with Shrouded Fable. Like, this is supposed to be happening like 2 years from now, right? Like, Shrouded Fable, people are like, oh, wow, Shrouded Fable is actually pretty good, right? Like, the box is kind of cool. Like, this isn't supposed to happen right away. Like, look at Battle Styles. It's finally about to sell out. But, like, Shrouded Fable should have been, like, the same way. But Shrouded Fable is a fraction of the time.
Yeah.
It's a quarter of the time.
They want to ask you if you go to card shows to buy singles, or do you mainly just rip them out of packs?
I don't ever really buy singles. Like, I rip packs.
Well, how do you complete your master sets? You pull all of them?
I try to, yeah. Like with Crown Zenith, I pulled every card in Crown Zenith, even the reverses. Like, that was a complete master set on my end. Prismatic, I was gonna try to do a master set by pulling it. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel opening Prismatic. My wife should be here in like 10 minutes.
Oh, you're good, man. We can wrap it up soon. We've been going over 2 hours.
Yeah, but I've only gone for like an hour because he's been so bad that dude, the past 2 days he's been like doesn't sleep anymore. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep right now. Dude, what time did I call you?
Like 11.
Dude, I was out like a light. He finally took a nap. The teething is so tough, man.
That's brutal. Yeah, it's painful, I'm sure.
Yeah, you tell him, buddy.
You tell him. Tell him. All right, let's take a couple more and we'll wrap it up, guys.
Yeah, sorry about today.
Let's see. What do we got? What's some good questions that we haven't seen yet that we can cover?
They go, and this is why I don't want kids. It's tough.
What's something you think the landscape of Pokemon cards will look like in 5 years? Do you think they will have stores, vending machines, take over LCS, serial number cards? What do you think, man? What's the landscape over the next 5 years?
Oh man, I hope they don't do serialized cards because look, unless they print like a lot, because look at it right now. If they do serialized cards, we're screwed. You won't even be able to get product anymore. Rip and shippers, like it would be bad for everybody.
It would work in specific, like a specific product. Like, I think Celebrations it would have worked in. Like, I think if it's a product where it's like a reprint set or a specialty set where it wasn't meant to be playable, there were no playable cards, so you didn't have the players getting upset, and it was released like in between 2 mainline sets or something where they get, I don't think every set needs to be for everyone. I guess
it doesn't have to be.
I think it'd be cool if they tried it. They could never do it in a mainline set. They could never do it in a set with playable cards. It wouldn't work.
Because then there wouldn't be any reprints.
Yeah, it had to be a set like Celebrations, 4 card packs, all specialty, hollows, reprint versions, like, and then throw some serialized in there. Like, it would work like that. Maybe 30th anniversary.
30th anniversary. I have a little info. I don't know how legit it is. If this is true, 30th anniversary, good luck. Just good luck.
What's the info?
I can't say.
What?
I can't say. Just know, guys, go back to one of your favorite vintage sets and imagine having reprints of one of your favorite vintage sets.
What, Team Rocket Returns?
I don't know.
Screw every other set.
You say that now.
I'll say that then. I'm not a Aquapolis Skyridge fanboy, dude. I'm sorry.
It has nothing to do with e-readers.
Wow. I don't know what you're talking about then.
Let me see.
Hey,
type your
Will's in
guesses.
here. What's up, Will?
Morning. It's 4:30. Where are you?
Break down Blooming Waters. There's nothing of value in there besides the packs, and the packs will take up 1/20 of the space. Yeah.
Somebody in the chat guessed it.
Somebody in the chat. What's the chat?
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, Neo. Yeah, that'd be cool. Anthony, what's up, dude? From people without distro, let's say Rocket is 2 to 250 at release. Is that even a buy? Can this actually happen? Oh, it can actually happen. Is it a buy? Here's the thing, right? The further we get into this bull market, the more likely it is that the boxes are going to be cheaper at some point. So, like, the earlier sets when this bull market was just rising, like, like we were talking about Paradox, Temporal, Stellar, some of those may not see a reprint, right? And those may go to the moon. These sets right now, if Team Rocket gets released middle of 2025, that means you've got till the middle of 2027 until it's 2 years old. I think there's a pretty good chance there's probably going to be a leveling off in that time period. There's probably going to be a good reprint size in those time periods. So I won't be buying large positions at 2 to 250. That's my take.
If it hits that number, I won't touch it.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $1,200 a case upon release.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're trying to like buy some and play the run up and then sell some into the run to lower your cost basis back down to the mid or low hundreds. You can try to make some plays and like take some risks there, but I wouldn't just at face value buy at 250 and stick it on a shelf. I'm not doing that.
You got to keep it simple, dude. You can't. Then it gets so complicated.
Where's the next place they can see you in New Jersey show, man? Where's your next attendance?
NJTCG in February.
There you go.
Yeah. I love her shows.
God, I'm getting ripped apart for the hating ungraded cards. Ripped. Crushed.
Yeah, if anyone that has extra Abyss they want to sell me, let me know. I got the melons, but I didn't get any Abyss.
Question. Booster bundle displays so far. I've only been 151 Paladin Fates. Do you see these holding a high premium in the future? Since the price is for a sealed display, it keeps on going up.
The pull rate? All right. So I have the 151.
He's talking like the display. Like, so there's like a premium that's being placed on the sealed display of bundles.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So in the first print run, there was a hit in every one of the bundles. Like there's one, whether it's a full art, SIR, there's a hit in every one of them. So the first print ones are fantastic. And I have a lot of those, right? And then when they reprinted it, there wasn't a hit in every one of them like there was in the first one, right? Same with the Paladin Fates, right? And I mean, I even held those. So I have a good amount of those that I just put away.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to hold a premium. And then I know Walmart reprinted them, but they sent all the displays opened, right? They weren't sealed.
I've got the easiest question we've ever gotten. Ready? Well, we're gonna answer it on three. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Face Collide.
Face Collide all day.
Told you I was gonna be the easiest question.
Yeah, Face Collide. Not even
close.
Not even close. Forbidden Light.
Dude, this dude said Forbidden Light. Come on.
Dude, you have an Alakazam full art. You have the secret that has Lugia
and
Umbreon
full art.
Yeah, I'm not done yet. Umbreon full art. The Megas. You are being crazy today, buddy.
Guys, we're gonna wrap things up. We gotta let Nick take care of his child.
He needs a nap.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to end with one last question. Let me see if I can find one last one to end things off. Anyone we didn't get to, I do apologize. Thank you all for being here midday on a Friday. Guys, the link to Nick's Instagram is top of the chat or top of the description. Make sure to check him out on Instagram. Follow him, the Poke Plumber. And make sure you guys check out the stream tonight. So 7 p.m. we'll be opening more packs. Just pulled a God pack on Wednesday. So hopefully we can get another one of those. We had another crazy thing happen Wednesday, if you guys didn't hear. A person ordered 2 packs of Evolving Skies. First pack, Sylveon VMAX. Second pack, Rayquaza VMAX. 2 alt arts out of 2 packs. VMAX alt arts. The odds of that is like, I don't know, 1,000,000 to 1. It's ridiculous.
It's insane.
But yeah, make sure you guys follow Nick. Thank you for being here again.
Guys, I promise you. In the next 2 weeks, there will be my first YouTube video. So go to the Poke Plumber on YouTube. I promise you, there will be a YouTube video in less than 2 weeks.
All right. We're holding you to that now. Now you put it out there. Now that you put it out there publicly, you have to.
I'm gonna. You can take a couple more questions. He's eating his teething ring. He calmed down.
All right. So now I scroll to the bottom and I don't see much.
Is that better now? Do you feel better?
Look, hey, remember earlier when someone said that black and white sucked? Now you have MK saying, "What's your favorite era?" Mine is black and white.
Yeah, because
that's hilarious. Because earlier someone said that black and white wasn't going to do well because it sucked.
No, black and white. the thing is, like, it was loved. It was during the era, right? The game was fantastic, right? The game was fantastic. I mean, it's worth it when he looks up at you and smiles. Yeah, you're the best, buddy. Black and white is a lot of people's favorite era. One of my favorite boxes is Dragons Exalted, right? That shiny ray is like one of my. I don't want to have it. No, thank you. Dragons Exalted is one of my favorite boxes. The box art on all of those are beautiful. So black and white, if they do anything with like a box art like black and white era, the set's going to be incredible. Zekrom, awesome. Reshiram.
814 Gaming with the rotation of my answer on black and white.
Wait, black and white was the first one that introduced like a fused Pokemon, like Black Kyurem,
Alt Arts.
White.
Alt Arts.
No, I'm talking about the generation as a whole. Like you had like Zekrom was able to fuse with Kyurem, which created Black Kyurem, right? And then you had Reshiram fused with Kyurem, which was White Kyurem. Like I'm going deep right now.
But it was also the first full arts.
Yeah, it was the first full arts.
Yeah. All right. So, but yeah, I've never really been a big fan of black and white. Like I dislike it. Don't hate me, guys. I just never like jumped into it. I started with XY and I just kept going from there. I never like went back in time because like I started out in XY. I was also going back and collecting like vintage from my childhood. I just never made it to black and white. I moved forward and I went like all the way to the back. So yeah, I don't know much about it. So that's all. With the rotation of April 11th for End of Sword and Shield era, where do you rank Brilliant Stars at least top 5 era? And I'm gonna expand on this question too. What do you think about the April 11th end of rotation? What do you think that's gonna be like any type of catalyst for any movement?
I mean, playability wise, it's just you're not gonna have a lot of players buying the cards from that era, right? So it could affect.
What do you think? Like subconsciously, people see that and say, "Okay, now it's for sure no reprints."
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like sealed will go up, but the singles I think can stagnate on certain playable singles. You know.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, honestly, they wait for that day, and they just kind of deem that as like the safest time to buy for no reprints, and they will buy sealed product they've been holding off, and they feel more comfortable for whatever reason. So I think it's a good thing. Brilliant Stars, at least top 5 of the era. I mean, my top 5 is going to be Evolving, Chilling, Fusion, Trown. Yeah. Oh, Lost. I think Lost and Brilliant are fighting for that last spot. I think most people are going to give it Lost.
Yeah, I mean, it's personally for me, I love Brilliant.
It's the 5th best booster box. I can say that.
Dude, for a while, Brilliant was number 2 behind Evolving. Even when Lost first came out, Brilliant was number 2. It was like $170. Like, I'll never forget that. So, to a lot of people, Brilliant was always at the number 2. It was above Fusion. It was above Chilling. And then everything just changed. You had all these new collectors come in. So, for a while, Brilliant was really like top 2. So, I think you can give it top 5.
Not use chloroform. Dude, Sean trolls you so hard, man. The New Jersey beef is real.
Philly, man.
Oh, man. All right, guys, we're going to end things there. Thanks, everyone, for showing up. Follow Nick, PokePlumber, on Instagram. And,
yeah, sorry about today, everybody. This is why we're doing Thursdays on the one day, right? Because then my wife will have him. And then Fridays on the other day because I have a sitter that day.
You're good, man. We got a good stream, so hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next week. Next week, remember, Thursday night, and we got some special guests that are going to be joining us. Yeah. See you guys all then. We're out.